Check, check. 1, 2. Is this? I hope this is working. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Alright, so it says live on my Streamlabs, but it doesn't say live on YouTube. So what is going on? Is this working? Oh, it says something is live. Alright. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, I see you guys now. So this, oh my god, this is terrible. This dashboard is so bad. So I've got auto stop off now. Okay, so so the option for auto start and auto stop were just missing. Like they weren't there. And then I had to go to Streamlabs, and then they were in the Streamlabs interface, and then after that they showed up on YouTube. And I'm just like, oh, I don't know. I don't know, man. Okay, let me get my chat window back. I'm so sorry. I'm definitely, you see, this is like this is how you know that I'm actually just some 40-year-old guy, because I have no idea how to technology. So I've got it working. So now if my stream stops sending data, it should not auto end the stream now. So it's weird. It's like with YouTube. There's like a stream on like YouTube, and then Streamlabs has like a different stream, and it's streaming into the YouTube stream. It's really, I don't get it. It's so peculiar. But I'm gonna quickly send the link, just so that everyone can like not get lost. So it's a new video. Yeah, let me copy the new address if I can find it. How do I find the URL? Can I just share it? Oh, here we go. All right, let me tweet this onto Twitter so I can like tell people, hey, I messed up and now there's like a new okay, let me just type stream link died. Now streaming here. Oh, that's not the link. Hold on. It didn't copy the link. There's the link. All right. God damn. Why is this so complicated? All right, let me just share that around. And I will post that in my Discord too. I don't think I even put an announcement. What should I say? I'll just like stream. I'll just copy what I tweeted. All right, that should do the trick. Let me just like send the word out to everyone. God, that's all right. Well, that shouldn't happen again now, hopefully. I didn't realize that it wasn't sending a Discord thing out, because that's usually what I do. So yeah, I'll have to set up some kind of bot to like auto post there. Anyway, all right, technical difficulty avoided, crisis averted. We are now back. Cool, thanks guys. I apologize for that. I literally haven't. Yeah, I don't know how any of this works really. So yeah, but it looks like we're back. My favorite elderly developer, I hope so. Alright. Back to whatever we were doing. I can't even remember. Yeah, we were the crate. Alright, well, I mean, this looks almost pretty good. I just gotta draw the rest of those lines and we should be good to go, I think. Is that? Alright, let me remove that. Hold on. I'll remove like that 5-minute, like, nothing stream. Yeah, well, that's gonna be annoying because now there's gonna be like 3 VODs for this. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that exactly. Yeah, can I like just, private that? Edit, yeah, like out of context, it's gonna look so weird because I'm there just talking, and then I like halfway in realize that the stream's broken. So yeah, let me visibility yeah, I'm just gonna. Well, I'll sort that out later. There's gonna be some way I can merge them all into one VOD, hopefully, because that's gonna be so annoying to go back and watch, and where it's like split up into 2 halves. Anyway, all right, back to the crate, back to work. But yeah, I guess the moral of that tangent I went on is like I missed the 2000s. Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say. All right, I hope. Looks like not everyone made it over, but oh well. I've like taken a massive hit now to the viewers. I reckon it's because like half the people are probably bots, or they're like watching like on a monitor and have like fallen asleep. It's my prediction. Trying to figure out how to make this line longer. Oh, come on. Ah, come on. Oh, I'm so close. Oh, okay, it's too far. That's too not far enough. So close. I'm trying to just like get the line, because you can't draw it as a straight line because it's at an angle. So you have to like get the angle just right. Oh, I almost have it. Okay, that's good enough. Good enough. Alright, because I just wanted to like extend those boundaries. Gotta get the right angle. That's a bit too much. Almost. Almost. I'm trying to use like the shift click tool to like draw these straight lines. All right, yeah, that's close enough. Gotta have the thick lines. That's the thing that's kind of weird about every time I draw one of my designs, I always iterate it slightly each time. So you'll even notice that Gabi is slightly different. Like her design has upgraded slightly since last time I drew her. I think I want to make her Gab phones like a little headphone. I want to make those permanent to the design because I think they're really cool. And it sort of helps a bit with the symmetry. So I've got her headphones drawn on, but even I've changed the design of those. Like they're a different shape. And I've also made her a bit more muscular. She's been, yeah, that's right. She's been pumping iron. We've been doing a lot of training this year. So all the work we've done this year, it's like showing now. Now she's like all beefed up. So it's like every time I draw her, she like grows up a little bit, you know? And same with the crate now. Now it's like that's getting a little iteration. Because I don't know, I always just, every time I come back to draw these, I can always think of like some way to like visually improve them. Or at least I think they're improvements. But I mean like, yeah, no, they are improvements. Like if you've seen my 2009 drawing of Gabi and compare it to this one, it's like, yeah, you'll be glad I made changes. Yeah, she got swole. Did I just... Hold on, something just moved. A computer... No, she doesn't have any... No, we're not microchipping Gabi. No, I'm not doing that to her. But, I was thinking... Because, we a while back on Twitch, we, like, programmed... the like a very rudimentary dialogue system, and I was thinking it'd be cool to have like little dialogue pop-ups come up during some levels, and then I realized like wait, because you don't see these characters on screen, and that's deliberate because if you would have them on screen during levels, I would have to like model them and like have an AI for them, and it's like, oh, okay, should I do that or not? And it's like, well, maybe I could not do that and save myself a lot of work and bug fixing. So I thought, is there a way I can get character dialogue without having to model the rest of the characters? And I figured out, like, you can just have, like, dialogue boxes, right? Just, like, on the screen. And then I was like, well, wait, because it's sort of like, it's, like, non-diegetic. And I'm like, well, how can I represent this? And it's like, oh, okay, I know. They're going to be like talking to her through her headphones. Like that's going to be the thing. Kind of like, you know how like in Metal Gear Solid, they have like those radio bits. So whenever you see like a dialogue box on screen from a character, it's like, oh, it's all coming through her headphones. So like that's the lore reason. Totally not to save costs or time or anything. Nothing to do with that. It's purely creative. But also the headphones, I think that the headphones do look pretty cool. Okay, I mean, this is like something looks a bit off about these lines, and I don't know what it is. I'm gonna try redrawing these ones. They look not right. They look like the angle looks wrong. I mean, that looks a little better. I think it might just be this one at the end. It's like a little too straight. Okay, that looks alright. Shabby. Oh, hell yeah. Speaking of which, because look, I've been asked about plushies a lot, okay, and I'm looking into it, but it's not as easy as printing a shirt, okay? It requires a bit of work, so that might come later. But I've heard you. I've looked a little into it, and I have learned that it's going to be more work than I think. But someday it'll be we'll have something. Will I be joining Donkey's Big Mode? I don't think that's the that's that publishing company that he made up recently, right? I don't think you join it. You get invited. Like that's not how. I don't think that's how publishing works. You don't join. It's not like a membership you sign up for. But I think I did see a question about this recently, and a friend sent this to me, and I'm a bit skeptical of Big Mode, if I do say. Just because like someone sent me the video and I watched it, and I couldn't tell if he was joking or not. That was like the main thing. But then he's talking about publishing, and I haven't watched a lot of Donkey, but I know of him, and I know that he's like a game reviewer, and as a developer, well, I don't know, like I use the word developer kind of loosely, because just with an asterisk, keep in mind, I am a game developer, but I have not published a title before. So do keep that in mind. I'm doing my best here, but I am by no means the most experienced guy when it comes to the business, because I haven't actually done anything. So, but that's the thing too, is that neither has Donkey, and that's why I'm a bit skeptical, because in my experience, there is no substitute for experience. And everyone, like with people I work with, I typically only work with people that have at least some amount of experience in whatever they're doing. Because from my own knowledge, I know that like everything sounds really easy on paper, but then when you actually doing stuff is really difficult. It's really hard. So I always try and suss out people, and it's like, every time I get, like I've had people reach out to me like, oh, could I do the voice for Gabi and stuff? And then I'll look at them and they've like never done any voice acting. And I'm like, yeah, maybe not. Like maybe I want to get someone who has at least done one thing. Just because you learn, like, and it's not because I'm trying to be mean. It's just because I know, because I was also like that where I hadn't done anything before. And then I started doing stuff and I'm still not even finished. And I've learned so much. And I'm acutely aware that there is so much I don't know. So I'm looking at that and how I think, and I try, that's kind of why I feel weird about YouTube. I don't think I really deserve much attention, because at the end of the day, I haven't done anything. I've started making a game, but anyone can start making a game. Only a small percentage of people actually finish and release it. I'm trying really hard to be in that small percentage and not fail, but I haven't made it there yet. So do keep that in mind. I could end up this could all end up failing, and I might end up being not that reputable at the end of the day. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you should just judge people by the last thing they finished. For me, the last thing I finished was a student game. So by that standard, I'm not that good. So I look at that, and I look at what I've learned from Feline so far. And I've done a lot of research in publishing recently. And I met with a publisher, like I mentioned recently, I had a call with a publisher recently. And to do that call, I spent like a whole night preparing questions to ask the publisher. And I could come up with about 30 to 50 questions to ask. And I didn't think I'd come up with that many, but there's actually a lot of stuff. Like, you know, what's your relationship like? Like, do you have any relationships with specific storefronts? Or, you know, can you get good promotion? Can you get good, like, feature spots on things? Like, what's your marketing budget typically for games? What's your marketing strategy typically for games? What regions do you market in? Is it inside the US only or outside the US? How do you do physical distribution? If so, how do you handle it? You know, do you have like a parent company that like manages that stuff? You know, like how many projects have you funded before? How many of them have failed and why? Like, there's a lot of questions. And when when people tell me that a YouTuber is gonna do a publishing company, you know, I have a lot of questions because it's like, have you thought of all that stuff? You know, can you do that? And even if you have thought of it all and have an answer to everything, are you going to be able to do it without failing? And I don't think so. I think for that to work, and this isn't just for Donkey, this is just for anyone, like typically, if you're going to be a new publisher or a new at anything, this applies to not publishing, just anything in general, I think you're going to have to fail a lot first before you succeed. So there are the lucky ones, there are the exceptions to that instantly it works, but that is immensely rare and very difficult. So I'm not like, you know, when I hear about stuff like this, I don't like lose my mind over it. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, I gotta get in on that, because I'm just, I don't know, like, we'll see how it goes. I'm skeptical, but because, you know, publishing is a big responsibility. It's not like making a YouTube video or a game review. Like, those are completely different skills. Like, being a gamer is not qualification for being a publisher, because those are not the same thing. But if he can do that, and if he's got a whole plan for it, and if he's, you know, committed and has a full business plan and has these relationships with stores and has the resources to be a good publisher, then by all means, go for it. But he didn't talk about any of that in his video. He just talked about how, like, oh yeah, I'm a gamer, I know what gamers want, but everyone thinks they know what gamers want. But how many of them actually do what gamers want? Like, every publisher probably thinks that they know what gamers want, and most of them don't do what gamers want. So, you know, I don't really listen to what people say. I just look at what they're doing, and it's like, all right, well, what have they done? And it's hard to tell with new stuff like Big Mode, because at the moment they haven't done anything. At least that I've seen. They haven't published anything yet. So it's really hard to judge. I'm not saying that it won't work. I'm just saying you gotta be careful. You gotta think really critically about this stuff and ask a lot of questions. So, I don't know, maybe I'll look into that and like, because it looks like they're looking for games. But, you know, I'm not like it's not like a high priority for me right now. But it's just something to think about with this stuff. But yeah, well, that's the thing. Publishing and distribution aren't the same, but a publisher should be handling distribution. Like, if you are signing with a, like, I've done some research and I haven't done a deal with a publisher before, but I know enough to know that you should, like, that's the bare minimum. You should at least be handling distribution as a publisher. Otherwise, what's the point? Why have the developer do that themselves if you, like, are going to take 50%? You know, you should at least, you know, and that's another question. Like, what's the rev share agreement? You know, I'm still trying to figure out what a reasonable number would be. Like, I'm still trying to do my own research to figure out what's normal, because I don't know. Like, that, keep in mind, guys, I still don't know all the answers to this stuff, but it's not like as simple as just, I'm going to publish a game. Like, it's really, really, really complex. It's a big job. That's why, you know, probably the majority of publishers you have probably never heard of for that reason, because they either go under, they go out of business. You know, it's just how it works. That's the Pareto distribution. Only about 20% succeed. So, you know, whenever I'm looking into something, I have to think, is this going to be in that 20% or not? And usually the factors that go into that are, do they have experience? Do they have a proven track record? That's the thing I'll try and look for. And if they don't have that, it's like, well, what else do they have going for them that could help and like make a case? So, you know, for me, for instance, you know, my track record isn't great. I don't really have one. So that's like, you know, I'm kind of in that basket of like, I would like, if I was working with myself, I wouldn't trust myself because I'm not that experienced. But I think I have enough work, like the work in progress I've done so far, I think is enough, like, to suggest that the first thing I do will probably be decent, at least, because I've made it this far already, and that's also pretty hard, I think. So yeah, you don't always have like a track record experience to go off all the time, but you know, there are other things you can look out for. Like if I didn't have my devlogs, I don't think any publisher would approach me at all if I didn't have those to show off like, this is what I've actually done so far. It's not finished, but I've done something. You know, I haven't just been doing nothing this whole time. So that's like, I think that helps. Like every person I've talked to, whether it's a publisher or a like being interviewed for something or even for grant applications, they always will mention my devlogs and say, wow, yeah, I saw your devlogs. And, you know, that's sort of what I've got going for me. But of course, different people will have different things. So, you know, for me, my ace in the sleeve is my devlogs. But, you know, for a publisher, I don't know what that would be. Like, I guess for Donkey, it could be his YouTube channel. But, you know, that might have some transfer of skill. But on the surface, it looks like the same, but when I started researching publishing, I realized just how not what it was like that I thought. Like, it's so different than what I thought publishing was. It's actually like, there's a lot. Like, marketing, like, just advertising itself. There is so much more than just, like, making a trailer. Like, that's not even the tip of the iceberg. And there's also, like, budgeting all that stuff, and, like, doing it in a way that's smart and not, you know, where you're not gonna run out of money. Like, that's all... I don't know how to do that stuff. That's so hard. Like, that's so complicated, and there's so many variables. But, you know, that's kind of what you sign up for. And I'm willing to learn that. Like, I'm really excited. Like, you know, I'm still, you know, if nothing works out, I'm still down to self-publish. I think I have a reasonable chance of doing well compared to most projects at self-publishing. And, you know, when I was doing, like, some of my grant applications, I had to, like, write a marketing plan. So I've already got all that prepared and set, and I know what I would do if I self-published. And yeah, it took me, like, weeks to actually nail that down and come up with a good plan that sounded reasonable, and it didn't just sound like a pipe dream, you know? So it's like, again, I haven't done it, but I've done, you know, I've had to prepare, and it's like, I'd like to see publishing talked about more, like around, like on the internet, sort of what goes into it, because it's quite interesting. But yeah, it's a big responsibility for sure. Well, that's the thing, because I could totally see Donkey as like doing marketing, but that isn't all a publisher is responsible for. That's like part of their job. It's not all of it though. So yeah, I don't have any doubts he could do marketing, but like there is like influencer marketing, like that specifically, which is a good type of marketing. There's also other kinds of marketing, like you know, more traditional types of advertising and marketing, like you know, making trailers and like, for example, making a trailer. Like, if he uploaded a trailer, it would do great, but to actually edit one together and make it not terrible. Like, I had a friend recently who's working on a trailer right now, and he's gone through like 15 versions to get it right. Because it's hard to make a good trailer that gets the, like, you know, that is well paced and exciting and keeps people watching. As a YouTuber, I reckon you'd have a good sense for that sort of stuff. But you know, you're not making a YouTube video, you're making a trailer. So there are some differences. You gotta have, like, edit it a bit differently. It still has some principles that overlap with YouTube editing, of course, but you know, what kind of shots of gameplay should you have? What camera angle should you do? Like, that's stuff that you wouldn't think about making a YouTube video. So, you know, there's so many questions and so many variables. I kind of wish he would have talked a bit about that in the video where he announced the thing, but I mean, if that's like, you know, NDA private stuff, I totally get it. But, you know, I personally don't buy just the, yeah, I'm a YouTuber, I can publish, because you need more than that. And you know, he might have all that in the sleeve, but he didn't show it. And I'm just like, all right, well, either you're deliberately not showing that, which could be smart, or I don't know, like it just makes me skeptical, that's all. Not saying it's, you know, it's like untrustworthy or not, it's just, you know, you gotta ask those questions. But anyway, that's just something I thought I'd share, seeing as, because I've been being asked about it a lot lately, specifically with this new recent development. But yeah, I'm like, maybe I'll look into it. I'm not like hype, you know. It's just like, oh cool, it's some guy trying to publish. Maybe I'll look into that. But you know, I don't know the guy. You know, like, I don't personally know the guy, so it's like, you know, it's easier, I think, at least for me. Like, I would rather like try and suss out people who I know, but I don't know a lot of people, so I don't really have that luxury all the time. Oh yeah, well yeah, TV ads. That's a good point. Like, would a brand new publisher that has never made a TV ad know how to make a good TV ad? Because it's not the same as making a YouTube video. Like, there's different guidelines and everything. Also, a big one that I completely forgot to mention, platform certification. That's like something a publisher does. Now, I haven't done platform certification, but I've talked to people who have done platform certification, and they all tell me it is like the most grueling, hard, annoying thing ever. And if you don't know what that is, so let's take this hypothetical, right? Let's say I wanted to release Project Feline on Switch. And I'm going to use Switch because I've been told that that is the most difficult one to get into, because they have very strict guidelines that you have to adhere to, otherwise you don't get put on the store. So some of those guidelines I've heard about include, you know how like, I don't know, any PS2 gamers in here right now? Anyone who played PS2? You know, like when you saved a PS2 game, it would always have that message of, you know, saving to memory card slot 1. Please do not remove the memory card from the PlayStation registered trademark 2 system. And it would always be the exact same message in every game. That is like one of the platform certification requirements. So if your game didn't have that while saving, you would get rejected from being published on that platform. So that's an example, but for Switch, there's like a bunch of different ones. I've heard stories where like, you know, they spend, because there's like a big queue as well. It could take you months to hear back. And I've heard stories where it's like, you know, people submit their game for the certification for Switch. 2 months later, they hear back, they get rejected because the font on one thing was slightly too small. You know, stuff like that. Or, you know, they didn't spell Nintendo with a capital N. Or, you know, they didn't use the registered trademark icon on one of the things. Like, there's very, very specific requirements that you have to jump through to get on. And it can take you like 2 or 3 times to get approved. So that's something a publisher, like if you sign with a publisher, that's something they're supposed to do. And if you haven't done it before, you know, that's gonna be a rude awakening, because it's like, oh, why did my game get rejected? Oh, what, the font was on the subtitles was 1 point too small. Now I have to wait 2 months to get resubmitted into the queue. Like, that's the kind of stuff that happens. And I'm not speaking from I'm just speaking from people I've talked to here. So there could be, you know, there could be more pleasant experiences, there might be worse experiences out there. This is just the data I've been able to gather. But, you know, that piled on top of all the other responsibilities is, you know, it's not easy. It's hard stuff. It's a lot of responsibility to handle all that. Yeah, there's also like more technical stuff too, like achievements and all that stuff. Yeah, there's probably even stuff I don't know about that like is part of that process. Like I'm just giving you examples of stuff I've heard about. I haven't read the certification requirements. I don't think people are even allowed to say what they are, because I think those are under NDA, I'm pretty sure. So you can't just YouTube how to pass a Nintendo certification, because no one is allowed to talk about it because it's under an NDA. So, you know, you just kind of have to like learn trial and error, I think, which, you know, when you have a game to launch, that's like, you know, that's taking up bandwidth of your attention and effort. And if you've got a bunch of stuff happening, like that's kind of why games don't just instantly publish when they're finished. They usually have to go through months of all this stuff first. And then they have to do their marketing at the same time as all of that stuff. They got to do campaigns and promotions and all that stuff. Like it's like a full-time thing. Like it's like just as difficult as actually making the game. Like, you know, making the game is like half the problem, and then the rest of it is doing all of that other stuff, right? So, you know, so that's just something to keep in mind. Like when people say I'm going to publish a game, it's not just like you click upload. and it's on Steam. Like, it's like, yes, you could do it like that, but if you want to do it properly and get it like multi-platform and get it like on shelves, it's a bigger process. It's a lot bigger. And I don't even know the extent to how big that is because I haven't done it. I've just researched it. And I haven't even researched it that much yet. But from the little I've done, that's the information I've been able to gather. That's what it sort of tells me. It's like, it's big. So that's one of the reasons I'm even sort of like, you know, responding to like publisher requests at all. Because it's like, oh, well, if someone could do that, that'd be cool. But of course, I don't just want anyone doing it. It's got to be the right guy. But anyway. But yeah, I probably like, again, I haven't done it, so like don't take my word as gospel on it. I haven't been through the rigmarole there. It's just based on my research. Well, yeah, that too. Well, yeah, again, it's not just, like, certification is one of those things. It isn't like that they just do that stuff. Like, there's certification, then there's, like, marketing and advertising. Some publishers will even, like, you know, fund, like, give production funding. That's, like, something that some publishers do. But, yeah, it's mostly, like, their job is, like, you got a game, when the publisher's job is, we're going to sell the game. That's, like, that's the job. It's just like, how do we sell this game and get it to as many people as possible? That's kind of the whole point. But yeah, it's not just like, oh, we're upload to Steam, click upload, done. Like that's like a small little part of like the pie chart. That's like one little job in there, but there's a lot. And you know, like for me personally, because I've been researching it, and I think, like, my general thoughts is that if it came down to it, I would be willing to put myself through all of that and learn how to do it. Because I've already, like, all the work I've done up till now has been, like, stuff I did not know how to do before. So it's like, yeah, I've already done all this. I might, like, if I can't find a guy that I would like working with publishing-wise, I'll just do it myself, like I do everything. And, you know, it'll be hard. I'm probably going to hate myself. But, you know, if that's what it takes, I'll do it. But, you know, if you can get help with it, that's like, you know, that'd be ideal. But, you know, you don't want to accept help from the wrong person. Because there's a lot of, you know, like I said, like, yeah, I've gotten emails before from, like, businesses that are literally, like, they registered, like, 2 days ago. And it's like, yeah, we could publish, we can get you on Steam. And it's like, yeah, or I could just do that. You know, like, they'll literally offer just, yeah, we'll get you on Steam, and that's it. And it's just like, you know, like you could do, like, publishers can do more than that. Like, that's like just any person can do that. Like, that's not something you need a publisher for, to just upload on Steam. You know, there's a lot more to it, you know? But anyway. Am I trying to go commercial? Yeah. What do you think? Why else? Yeah, of course. Why would I not? I think I could. I believe I could. You know, aim for the moon, see what happens. It may not go that great, but I can, in my head, picture that happening. Like, I've seen, like, again, it's probably really difficult, and I totally get that. But, you know, the reason I'm even entertaining most of this stuff is because I was out at, like, you know, at an EB Games, or, you know, they're called GameStop in America, but in Australia they're called EB Games. I was at an EB Game one time, and I, like, saw, like, because I'm starting to see more indie games on, like, shelves now, like, published titles. But, you know, I look at some of them, and I'm just like, how did this get on a disc? Like, this looks so average. And I'll, like, look at stuff, and it's not, like, to be mean. I'm just looking at it. Like, I'll pick up some game, and I'm just like, wow, that's very mid. Like, that's very average looking. Like, this is the sort of stuff I would see in, like, Steam Greenlight. But this got, you know, a publishing deal and got shipped, and it is on this physical shelf that I'm looking at right now. And I look at that and go, well, if that is good enough, then maybe I can get there someday. Like, in the back of my head when I was like starting this project, that was like a dream of like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if it got on a shelf? But I didn't take it seriously. But now that I've seen what's out there, it's like, yeah, why not? Maybe I could do that. But again, this is just like, don't take this as a promise, guys. This is just little thoughts I've been having to myself lately, all right? I'm just sharing you some thoughts. It's not like a commitment because again, like I said, it is extremely difficult. And it's usually doesn't go like you think it will. But you know, it's like, well, I don't know, why not? Maybe I'll try it. Like my goals are quite lofty with this thing. I don't think I don't like sharing too much about my goals. That's why, you know, this is probably a bit of a surprise to most of you that I've even been considering this, because I usually just will talk about things once I've done them. But you know, that's something that's just sort of sitting on my mind sometimes, where it's like, oh, maybe I'll try that out. Why not? You know, I put 4 years into this game, and people enjoy it. And of course, you know, when I say, like, when I talk about plans for the project, of course it's not gonna, like, that last build I uploaded last year, it's not gonna, like, that's not the quality bar. Like, that's still just the prototype. Like, it's definitely, like, the current build we have at the moment with the levels we have, I haven't shown anyone this yet, but it looks miles ahead of what I last showed off. So this it probably sounds a bit weird of me talking about this stuff when you guys haven't seen the latest build, because it's, you know, when you've seen it, you'll be like, oh, yeah, maybe he's not crazy, you know? But in due time, I have a devlog planned for that one too, but that's going to be a little while away. But yeah, this whole year, guys, like, there's so much that happened this year, guys. Like, my attitude has, like, completely shifted in the last year about this game. I should probably mention, because yeah, this probably sounds like it's coming out of nowhere, because I haven't really talked about it much. But yeah, no, there's been lots happening this year, not only with development, but just behind the scenes as well, like admin stuff and business stuff. So, you know, that's kind of why I'm not afraid to start thinking about, like, seriously, like, you know, because, you know, like, yeah, sure, it's an indie game, I'm making it in my bedroom, but I don't really see it like that. I kind of see it as something a bit more in my head. And I think that's kind of good to have, I think, typically. I think it's good to have high goals. You may not reach them, but at least you'll, like, you won't, you know, you'll get somewhere close, you know? That's why, you know, I tend to be kind of lofty with my aspirations. Like, even, you know, 10 years from, like, I have a whole thing, I have, like, a whole document planned of, like, what I want to do in the next 10 years. And, you know, I don't know what'll happen, but I'm already doing way better than I thought I would be at the moment. Like, I didn't think I would have this game, you know, at this age. I didn't really have a plan before, but I'm feeling pretty confident after everything that's happened this year. But anyway. Oh, thanks, Sloth Man. Appreciate it. That's good to hear. Can't wait to see Project Feline on a shelf in Target. Well, it could happen. I'm not saying it will happen, because here's what I will say, because I'm probably going to try my best to get that to happen, but if it doesn't, there'll probably be a really good reason. Because those who have been, like, on my Patreon and have been, like, following my old Twitch streams from earlier this year will know that we had, like, a huge saga with Screen Australia this year. And that's what the next devlog's going to be about, by the way, just to give you guys a heads up. So the devlog I'm working on right now is about how we almost got a grant with Screen Australia. And it wasn't because the game wasn't good, because we didn't get it, but it wasn't because the game wasn't good. We made it past their whole screening process, but I declined to accept the money, and it was for a very good reason. You know, and I'm not gonna spoil the details. I'll save it for the devlog. But let's just say you always got to read the terms and conditions very carefully. Make sure you know exactly what you're getting into. And I wasn't comfortable getting into what they wanted me to get into, so I didn't do it. So, you know, yeah, that's one of the many things that have happened this year. But it's like, what was my point? I had a point with this whole thing. What was my point? I can't remember now. But basically, it got me thinking about the game a lot more seriously when we had to do that process of submitting it. Because they had a lot of requirements. You know, when we did it, it's like, you got to have a business plan, you got to have a marketing plan, you have to have the entire game budgeted out. And we did all of that stuff. Like, I sat here, like, a good, like, oh, how many weeks? I think it was like a month, I think, or something like that. Or like 3 weeks or something. Like, I spent a good 3 weeks just preparing those documents, not even working on the game. Like, I had someone else helping me with level design in the meantime, and then I was just focusing on like all of these strategies and plans and everything. Which I think that's, yeah, like that's kind of one of the key differences between last year and this year, is that I didn't really have, like, I had a long-term idea of what I wanted to do, but I didn't actually write it down. But now I have written it down, and it's like, oh, I could do all that. You know, yeah, sure, it might not happen exactly on schedule, because that usually doesn't happen, right? Things always get delayed. But, you know, it's like, I look at it and go, oh, well, you know, on paper, like when I sort it out logistically, yeah, that could work. I just have to work really hard. But, you know, that's I'm not a stranger to that. Excuse me. Also, yeah, my Photoshop canvas is frozen, so let me just save and reopen. Because, yeah, sometimes, yeah, I can close this now. Yeah, because sometimes, Photoshop, like, I don't know what it is. It's an issue I've always had, where, like, I'll, like, be zooming around the canvas, and then it just freezes. So if I draw stuff, it won't update. So I just have to close the document and reopen it. So let me just close it. I've saved it, I'll close, and I'll reopen it. Oh, I could tell you why the TOS was dodgy. I could tell you exactly why, but I'm not going to right now, because that's, I want you to, because I'm gonna do it justice in my video. I have like a full-on, like, segment prepared that I'm gonna go into it, because there's so many detail. Like, that's why I don't want to talk about it right now, because it's like, there is so much detail that I have. I have so much dirt to, like, throw around. So I want to be, when I do talk about it, I want it to be like the definitive video to go to like why I didn't go ahead with that. And I want it's like perfectly worded so that, you know, it's not like rambling. It's like very, you know, to the point and detailed. Because I could try and explain it now, but there's so much missing context, it wouldn't really make sense. So the video is going to have like it's going to have like 3 acts to it. There's going to be like a first act with like the general premise of everything, of what was going on. The second act of like us doing our work for the submission. And then the third act is going to be the whole legal stuff that happened. And you need to really have that full context to really appreciate just how freaking bizarre everything was. So I don't want to spoil it. Like, I could talk about it now, but I'm not going to do it justice now. Like, I need to, like, prepare, and, like, I have to have all the documents in it, because I have everything, like, in email, documents. I have everything is documented very meticulously. So, and I want to show that, like, what that all looked like. I'm going to show you what it was like for me to go through that. And it's stuff that most people wouldn't show. But luckily, I haven't signed anything. I haven't signed an NDA or anything, so I have full reign to talk about the entire thing, and I will in that video, but I'm gonna do it right. You know, I'm not just gonna randomly bring it up and start talking about it on stream, like, candidly, because I could, but I want to, like, do it justice, you know? I want to, like, you know, tell the story the best way I can and prepare and, like, you know, all that stuff, right? Have it nice and well presented. But it is a treat. Why don't you use an AI generator? Yeah, I know, guys. I could just AI generate the design. yeah. All right, so I'm pretty happy with the crate. You know, yeah, you can see I've made a few changes to it because I like iterating on that sort of stuff every so often. So if I turn off my reference now, yeah, like I sort of like how that's turned out. What I might do though is just like, I don't know if I'll hide those lines. Well, yeah, I'll draw in the line like there, and we might, I don't know if I'll keep those drawn on or not. So, all right, that's sort of like what the sketch looks like, and I'll add a mask to it. I know I spent a bit too much on, sorry, I rambled a bit and spent a little too long on, because it was just supposed to be a sketch. I still need to actually ink this properly. That's going to be the thing I work on next. Let me just real quick, I'm going to get a masking tool just to hide, just so I can see it, you know? Oh, excuse me. The stripe on the bottom left. Yeah, maybe it is. I'll fix that in just a second. I'm just gonna like mask out the bits that Gabi's sitting on so that I can like, when I go over this with line art, I can sort of see it better. Now, with the line art, because this might look decent, but I think it's definitely very messy and needs work. Oh, my canvas is frozen again. So what I'm going to try doing next after I mask this out and fix that line, we're going to go over it with like a... Well, the thing is, because I was trying to figure out, because I'll show you guys another document in a second of the line work I'm most proud of. And I'm going to somehow try and emulate that in this drawing. Because doing line art, I don't know, some days I'm in the groove and some days I'm not. And I think I might be able to control how I can make this a good day for line art. Because some days I just don't do a good job. But I think today I can force it to be good. Because I've been trying to pay attention to like what I like about the line art that I've done in the past that I liked. And I think I have a rough idea. But I think I'm going to have to like fiddle around with my brush settings a bit to get the right look. So let me just save this document and reopen. Because yeah, the canvas is all frozen again. But I'm going to quickly go look for my other... like the design from my last merch drop, or my first one that I was really proud of. So if I go to, I think it's an illustration, my illustrations folder. Oh, hey mods, we got another bot. Who can get him? Who can get him first? Thank you. Nice job. Well, the thing is, because I've got quite a bit of RAM, and I'm not sure if, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I can see, like, my task manager or something. Like, performance. What's my memory like? I feel like, because I've got, like, 32 gigs in here, which I would assume is enough. But now task manager is, like, freezing up. Okay, maybe it's not. Maybe 32 isn't enough, guys. Like, I've opened task manager, and it's, like, frozen. Oh, dear. Oh, no. All right, let's have a look. Yeah, the GPU isn't being used that much. Memory. Oh yeah, it's like, well, it's not 100%. It's like 85. So, I mean, yeah, 85 is kind of high, I guess. I could, yeah, that's kind of high. No, I don't think, no, my CPU didn't look 100%. I don't think, Photoshop shouldn't be using my CPU. I think I've like told it to use my GPU. I think. But yeah, my CPU is pretty tired though. Like, if I was to upgrade anything right now, it'd be my CPU. It's like a Intel i7 7700, 4.2 gigahertz, which I've had for like 5 years. Yeah, so my CPU is sitting at about 50% on this graph. Like, yeah, 50, now it's at 30%, so I don't think it was the CPU. But, like, for rendering and, like, editing, yeah, it becomes a bit of a bottleneck there. Excuse me. Let me get, yeah, I was gonna open that other picture. Give me a second. I think it's called Kick Pose 2. I'll open this. I actually do need to like, because the thing is as well is that all of my channel branding and everything is all out of date because I've changed Gabi's color palette, and all of my stuff like the itch page and my YouTube banner has like the old color palette Gabi on. So I just haven't been bothered to change it yet, but maybe someday. I just want to have like a new drawing I can put there. So yeah, I've tried to update this one, so you can see there's the old palette and then the new palette. And you can see, like, I've kind of changed. I've even changed, like, her skin tone and her hair color is different. Because I kind of did more research on color theory. And I was like, oh, yeah, maybe I should make the hair less washed out. So, yeah, I've, like, changed it so that it's a bit more colorful. Which I think, I don't know, me personally, I like the new one much better. But, yeah, so this line work... This is like for my first merch design. I'm really proud of how the line work turned out on this. Can I like solo the line work out? Yeah, so I'm gonna try and do like this level somehow. And I'm trying to look at what, how I've done it. And it looks like, there's a lot of variable thickness with the lines. So like the outlines are very thick. The parts where two lines intersect, I've like embellished those a lot. The lines are very steady and very, I was trying to figure out if there was some kind of way to like auto vectorize it, but I just didn't have time to look into it too much. So I'm just going to do it by hand. But so I'm going to try and do it to this level, right? And as you can see, if I zoom in here, you can see that, yeah, it's definitely not to that level yet. Like if you zoom out, it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of all right. But you zoom in and it's like, whoa, that's messy, dude. That's very shaky. Give me a minute. I just got to blow my nose. One sec. I'll mute myself. Sorry guys, I don't want you to hear that. Yeah, I'm still got some flu symptoms hanging about. Looks younger with the new palette? Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I was kind of like the goal that I was trying to get at, because I was looking at her palette and it just looked like kind of amateur. Like I was looking at like the black. And I know that there's like this rule that I learned from painting where you don't want to use black like ever. It's probably it's a different reason. I think it's like for shading. Like if you're painting and trying to shade something, don't mix it with black. Like just don't do that. But I was looking at this drawing and I was like, well, like could I use like a better color to like make her kind of stand out more? So I did like a whole recolor in like blue because I don't know, pink and blue. I really like that combo. Some reason, and I've noticed it's like a trend. Like I look around a lot of like the stuff I own and it's in that same palette. I had something, there was something I had where it was like I think it was like in my bathroom I had like a pink washcloth and like blue towels, and like it's all like subconscious. Like am I getting inspired by my furniture right now? Like what's going on? But yeah, it's I wanted to kind of make her a bit more colorful because people like colors. To tell you the truth, I used to hate coloring. Like when I was before digital, I absolutely hated coloring in. I would never do it. So there was actually a lot of years that had gone by where I didn't know what color Gabi was. Like I drew her and I just didn't, I had an image in my head on what her colors were, but I never actually colored them until like a few years after. And then I was like, oh yeah, these colors, they don't look so good. So I like went through a few iterations and then now we're sort of up to this one. So I'm just going to close that. I'm going to reopen the crate so I have the colors. Well, even with the crate, I think I want to pick different colors this time. Thanks, mods. This is like, how many have we had of these now? We've had like at least 10 of these spam bots. At least 10, probably more. But yeah, even with this crate, because I think I just picked a random shade of yellow and blue, and I think I want to try a different color. Like, not too different, but just a different yellow. Because I've sort of been getting a better feel for like what yellows work and what, grays work and that sort of stuff. So I might try that. I might just leave that open here for the moment. Because I've learned that there's a specific type of yellow that I do like, and it's kind of orangey yellow type. And I don't know, might play around with that a bit. Also, I think I rubbed out a line. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, there's like a line missing there that I must have rubbed out by accident. Okay, let's get that masking back. So yeah, the idea is I'm just gonna like mask out the stuff that's obscured by Gabi so that I can like see the line work better. So yeah, like her hands are there, so I'm gonna rub out like the stuff that's like in the way. And then there's like this where her leg is. And then like her foot is sort of sitting there. And then, yeah, so this will make it a bit easier for me to like see what I need to actually ink if I just mask out the stuff that's obscured. Yeah, that looks a lot better. There's not lines overlapping everywhere. So that's, yeah, like rough, that's like the sketch of how it'll look. I'm gonna fix up the lines on the crate in just a moment. Let me just blow my nose again. It's like I'm getting like sicker the more I stream. One moment. Always makes this loud click sound whenever I unmute myself. Like that. Sorry if that annoys you. It's not my fault. It's just the button makes a physical noise. That's interesting rule. Never use pure. Yeah, I think that was one of the rules I had read somewhere. Yeah, so I think with black. Well, yeah, I won't open it again. It's going to take too long. But basically, because there's color and then there's contrast. There's sort of like different things, like brightness values and stuff. So one thing that, you know, I might try out at some point is like making the undersuit still blue, but like darker. Because you don't necessarily need black. Because what that does is it creates contrast, which, yes, black technically does do that by design. It's the darkest color. You put that against anything, it's going to be max contrast. But it's like, if you still want a bit of hue in there, like that blue, you could just make it like a darker blue, just to have more pop and contrast in it. So, you know, we might try that, maybe. One thing I've tried to experiment around with as well, just with like the environments mainly, is like green. And I don't like green. Like, I really don't like green, but green does go, technically, it like complements pink. So I'm trying to like, in some of the promo art I've been trying to make, I've been like trying to experiment with like, instead of like having like, you know, blue fog in the environment, it's like trying to tint it green slightly and see, like not too much, just like kind of a teal, you know, experiment around with that. And it looks kind of like, I've had some interesting results from those experiments. But yeah, it's like every time I like look at it, I always like end up changing my mind. Oh, sorry, my pen hit the boom arm there. Let me just rub out that little bit. I also need to like like the hands are not, like they don't really make much sense yet. I'm gonna redo the hands. So let me just like, because those hands are a bit vague. I think I was just kind of like roughly blocking in stuff there. I didn't really think too much about it. But I think that's supposed to be like her finger. Like she's sort of got one hand around the other. So I should probably define those lines a bit, because I can't tell what this gap is supposed to be. Okay, no, that's part of her other hand. Okay, yeah. So that's like one bit there. And then like that's sort of like her thumb in her hand. I think that's sort of like her joint is like here, sort of like this area. And then I think her wrist, I didn't draw a line for that, so I probably should. And I think I'm supposed to, yeah, I should probably close up one of those lines. Is that what I want? Nah, it looks a bit much. Just gonna bring like the line, sort of like the basic line work sketch back. Yeah. Excuse me. No, don't time out the bots, mods. Come on, you gotta ban him. Gotta get him out of here. There's a button. Because if you time them out, they're gonna keep coming back. So there's a button. Okay, I'll help you out, mods. If you click on the little dots next to them, there is a button called Hide User. That's what you want to click. It really should be called ban, but they call it timeout. Or no, they don't call it timeout. They call it hide for some reason. I don't know why, but that's the ban button. All right, cool. Is she supposed to sit to the far right of the box? Well, yeah, because like, if I move the box like more centered, like it would, like her legs would not be hanging over it, and the entire pose wouldn't make sense. So I've got her sitting on the edge. Well, I guess she kind of is in the middle, I guess. Actually, yeah, now that you mention it, maybe it does need to be a bit further over. Because, yeah, it looks... Yeah, she needs to be sitting further. So I'll move the box. Where is it? Yeah, I think it needs to be, like... Yeah, that looks better. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, that looks... Because it looked like she was too centered there. So that was it before, and then after. That looks a little better. I might move it a little, like, down here too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool, cool, cool. All right, I just have to, like, fix that mask up. Excuse me. Yeah, the thing is with Vector, I do have Illustrator, but I have no idea how to use it. Like, I've had it as part of my cloud subscription for years, and I've used it like once, and I think I tried using it when I was like 7, because my dad used to have it on his computer, and he was like, oh yeah, instead of using PowerPoint to draw, you should try Illustrator, and I tried it, but it was so different to what I'm used to with photo. Like, it just works completely differently, and I just haven't had the time to like sit down and actually learn it. But the reason why I'm kind of interested in that, or well, the thing is, I might not even bother with Illustrator because I was doing some research into how anime is made, because I'm interested in that kind of stuff, and I think they use, like, actual studios will use like some localized version of Clip Studio Paint. And that supposedly has an animation timeline tool, and it has like vectorizing tools, which is why anime line art looks so clean. At least I think that's why. I was watching some video. There was some like live stream from some like animation studio that I was watching to try and like suss it out. And I think they had like Clip Studio open, and they had like all of the sketches, and they were like vectorizing them with lines. And I was like, damn, that's so cool. But I don't have Clip Studio Paint, and I don't know how to do any of that. So someday, but not today. Oh, Take 22, thanks so much for becoming a supporter, for becoming a channel member. Appreciate it. You have a crate now. Epic. Use Flash. Oh man. Sadly, we're not in 2008 anymore. As much as I wish that was. Wouldn't that be funny? It's like, you know, I like go work at an animation studio, let's say, and it's like, oh, what's your experience? And it's like, oh yeah, I use Flash. It's like, well, we don't use Flash at this studio. You're gonna have to learn a new tool. And it's like, no, I have to use Flash because I need to pretend it's 2008, and we will use Flash to keep the do not break my fantasy, okay? It is 2008 and we will use Flash. And it's like, okay, this guy's kind of weird, we're not gonna hire him. But yeah, I feel like that would be the one reason I would ever use Flash, is just to like pretend I'm still in the timeline where Flash is still used. Can you draw Pringle's cat? I don't know, maybe. use PowerPoint. Well, actually, I don't know if I told you guys the story, but unironically, I did used to use PowerPoint to draw digitally. That was my first tool. I was sketching in my sketchbook, and then when I was like 12 or something, or even I think I was like 7, something ridiculous. I started using the freeform tool in PowerPoint to draw vectors. And I remember the first thing I did was that I tried to redraw. Hold on. I'll show you what I tried to redraw. I don't know if I still have the file. But I tried to draw this in PowerPoint. The Lego Star Wars box art. And I like went in with the freeform tool and tried to like draw, all of that stuff. This is a banger game, by the way. I actually prefer this over the complete saga and the new one, because Yoda has the hover chair and you have Dexter's diner. So I 100% prefer this version. This is the best. This is the definitive Lego Star Wars ever made. Oh, sorry, I hit my microphone there. It is the best. This is the best game. Yeah, that's the thing. So Clip Studio has a vector layer feature, which I'm so interested in, but I don't have the software for it. It's always just been a thing. Like, I'll always find all these things, and it's like, oh yeah, someday. And like, maybe in 5 years I'll have time to look into it, but I do want to try it someday, though. It looks really cool. Yeah, I know that you can use the pencil, but I don't know. Should I try that for this one? Because the thing is, every time I try something new, it usually like doubles my time that it would normally take me. But then the next time it'll be quicker. Should I try that now, or should I just stick to what I know and like get it done? I'm not sure. I was thinking about maybe doing that though with the pen tool before I hopped on. I was like, maybe should I try the pen tool? But I don't know, it's like I just don't, I'm not experienced, like I don't have a lot of practice with it. So I'm not confident. But I don't know. Maybe if drawing it by hand is like not working out, maybe I'll try vector using the pen tool. But I feel like that's something, I feel like if I'm using the pen tool in Photoshop, then I should really be using Illustrator, I think. That's sort of my impression. Okay, so I'm just gonna see, do I need to move the crate a bit more? I think maybe. I think it needs to sort of be a bit pushed back a little bit. Like, yeah, like maybe like that. It's a bit off kilter. I guess, yeah, that's all right. I think it's just the issue is like her body is drawn at a bit of a different perspective than the crate. But don't worry, no one will notice. Don't worry about it. It's fine. But yeah, if I move it anywhere else, it just looks off. Unless maybe I like skewed like the crate. But that kind of looks even weirder. Yeah, no, we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it alone. Maybe I rotate Gabi. Like if I rotate her a little. Hold on. Oh, no. Let me undo that. Yeah, oops. I gotta, because it's sort of, I've split the layers up a bit. So if I like take these and just like rotate it slightly. I don't know. Because I'm just looking at where her like pelvis is, and I kind of want that to line up with the contours of the crate. What are my thoughts on the new Sonic Frontier game? Well, I haven't played it, and I don't think it's even out yet, right? Like, it doesn't come out until, like, next month. So I can't really say I have much thoughts on it, really. But I do have thoughts on the marketing, but I don't have any thoughts on the game itself. I don't know if you're interested in that. I do think their marketing strategy is kind of interesting. I don't know. Does that look better? Let me make a copy so I don't like destroy what I've done here. Yeah. I don't think I'll do the pen tool because I do have a deadline. I want to try and, like, I have until, like, the next few days to kind of get this out and ready. Only moved 2 degrees, it looks more full of hope. Did that? I don't know, let me... One sec. Because I have, like, the crate grouped in with it, and I didn't want to do that. Let me try that again. I'm just gonna, like, rotate it. Yeah, I can just punch in a number. I'll punch in -2. I'll minimize that. Well, yeah, because the thing is... Oh, yeah, I kind of see what you mean. But yeah, so I've rotated her by 2 degrees there. And that is... Oh, there's, like, the normal one. There's her... I mean, it's so minuscule, you can't really tell. I guess it does... Okay, maybe I'll... 1 degree, like, just 1 less degree. I think by 1 degree it looks kind of better. But I think, yeah, maybe with the crate. Oh, because I screenshotted it at a specific angle, so I don't think we can really do much to it. I mean, I could try, like, if we tried squish... yeah. No, I don't think it's gonna work. Like, I mean, maybe. Okay, I'll make a copy. Maybe we do a bit of stretching and squashing, just a little. Yeah. I'll be sure to check that out. Oh, you have that game in first order retriever. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, you know when it's Lego Star Wars A Clock, you gotta have it ready. It's actually, dude, like, because it's the PC copy. I'm actually kind of surprised that it even runs on my system. It's like a game from 2005. I'm very impressed. All right, so I've like squished the crate a bit. And I think to like keep it in perspective, I feel like I would have to like lower that, but oh no, that's not gonna work. It's gonna go off. I don't know. I can maybe like squish it a little that way. I don't know. Like there's that one. And then there's that one. I can't, it's tough. I think maybe, I don't know if I can like, I think I need to like make this side a bit bigger. Yeah. And then like, I like move it up a little like that. I don't know. Cause I'm trying to like make it not look weird. Like that to me looks a little weird. Let me do another copy. I'm just gonna try using the perspective tool, because I think what I need to do is like sort of shift it a little so it's skewed a little upwards. I think that's it. But I guess that kind of does look a bit weird. But yeah, that's okay, that's a bit too much, of course. But yeah, like kind of like that, but it, yeah, nah, nah, I don't, because it like warps, because it's not like it's fake, like it's not gonna look proper. Because I think what let me just try one more time. So I think I have to move that up, and then I need to like move this, like shift that over as well. But yeah, now it just looks skewed. I don't know. Maybe if I just scale it, like squish it a bit. Nah, or maybe if I just warp it like that way. Okay, I mean that, it's, I don't know. It has to be like very subtle, I think. But if it's that subtle, it's kind of like, what's even the point, I guess. And then like maybe I rotate it slightly. Nah, that just looks whack. I think I figured out what I'm trying to do though with it, I think. Because I'm basically trying to like squeeze that little top bit a bit, but you can't just take that bit and squish it because then it's not going to line up with anything. But you want to like squish it a bit. Maybe squish it downwards. And then you want to like... No, you can't really skew it that way. And like you could, but you'd have to like skew one of the other sides. Oh no, I think I figured it out. Okay, so it's like this angle. I need to like make that. Yeah, because that'll then take care of like the top half. So it's like less like from above. Yeah. I think maybe... but I edited the wrong layer. So let me try that again. I got the wrong one. Let me make another... Yeah, hold on. Did I mess that up? Let me move the reference back to see if this has been skewed. I think this is fine. Okay, so this could take a little bit, but once we get this solid, coloring is going to be so fun. And I do think I have skewed it a bit somehow. Or have I? Okay, no, that looks to the reference, yeah. But just for safety, I'm going to like go back and undo as far back as possible. Yeah, okay. And let me like move this back. So I can like just make sure it's not whack. Okay, it looks good. All right. Actually, before that, I'll fix up the line thickness so that we don't like mess it up when we skew it. Yeah, I'll fix that. Wait, is that even the right? I think that's the wrong reference image. Yeah, that's not it. That's it. Yeah, because one of those lines is a bit too wide. This one down here. It is, well, the thing is, it is a geometrically perfect cube, but I did screenshot it from a specific angle. And the angle might not be, because remember, we can't really change Gabi, because that's going to just take too long. So we need to, I think what I needed to do is sort of have it more at this angle, but I didn't screenshot it that way. But to get that look, I think what we do is we just like sort of widen the bottom, and then like the top will just kind of squish a bit. It won't look perfect, but it's close enough. So, you know, that's kind of the best we got, I guess. Excuse me. Yeah, like those bottom two corners. That's exactly it. But yeah, before I do that though, I'm just gonna make sure I actually fix the actual line, the lines here. Does that look? I think it needs to be a little thicker. Yeah, I think I took a bit too much off. But yeah, normally I wouldn't put this much effort, but because this is like a merch design, this is like I go like all out. I go like full effort, completely, because I'm gonna wear it. So it's like I better make it good. Just trying to think the right amount to take off, because it should be thicker than the other ones, but not by too much, because it is closer to the camera. All right, I think that looks, yeah, I like that. I'm just thinking though. Yeah, I think that should be fine. It's just it's just the lines on the other side I'm not too sure about. Let me like let me move this and turn Gabi off. I don't know, maybe it's just the angle. But the lines are... I don't know, it just doesn't... They look like too skewed, but I guess that's how it would look from that angle. Like, they look high up, but it's actually, like, fine, like, a reference. But I don't know, maybe I'll move it just to see how it looks. Like, I just want to take these and just sort of move them a bit down. Yeah, I think they were just a little high. I'll just move those down just a wee bit. And I wonder, yeah, it's like the angle I'm not 100% satisfied with. I might see if I can just adjust them a little. I like skew them like that way. But that, I know it's not technically correct. Nah, that can't, yeah, no, I'll leave it alone. It's probably fine. But I wonder if I could just make them a little wider. Like if I just widen them a bit. Nah, I'll leave it. Nah, it's gonna be too much of a hassle. So what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, so now we're gonna actually like perspective. Well, yeah, let me get the clipping mask to be correct, and then we'll like warp it about again. Do I have measurement? No, I don't think so. I have no idea. But you know, back in the old days, we didn't have no measurement tools. We do it the old-fashioned way. Back in the good old days, back in the 50s, we didn't have no measurements. Okay, that looks acceptable. Oh yeah, let me just rub that a little bit out here. Oh. I feel like, oh yeah, no, I don't think I'm missing anything. Oh yeah, there was a line that's supposed to go here. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm not gonna adjust the clipping mask, but I'm just gonna like perspective, and we're just gonna like shrink up those bottom corners a bit like that. And you can kind of see the top is shrinking a little, but we don't want to like overdo it. So we're gonna maybe like that. Because yeah, now if we compare it, you can kind of see a bit of a difference. Like it looks like we've sort of lowered the camera a bit. I don't know. What do you reckon? And then we've also we have rotated Gabi as well. So let me like, I don't know, should I leave Gabi rotated by 1 degree? Oh wait, I don't think it's actually saved that change. Yeah, it didn't even, yeah, so let me like rotate her by 1 degree. Maybe, yeah, with the collectibles. That's something I've thought about. But yeah, I won't say anything more. So yeah, like if I rotate them all a bit, like yeah, that's can I like make those transparent? Wait a sec. I'm trying to think, is there a way I can compare these side by side, but I don't know if it'll be really noticeable. I'm just gonna like try to like color code these. Let me just save first, because I'm gonna like move them next to each other. But yeah, like if I color the lines different, that's sort of like the difference. Yeah, I can't really tell honestly, like which one I'd want. The new one looks like 3.2 or 3-point perspective. Yeah, I guess. And let me just, yeah, I'm just gonna wait for it to save, and it's a big document because I'm using this for print, so it's a massive file. So just give it a moment. It's like 43% saving. Give it a sec. Oh, hey, Commander. Thank you. So that's your name, Gavin. Ha, I've exposed you. Would I make a Gabi funk if it was AAA successful? Well, yeah, I guess I'd be obligated to then. But personally, I don't know, like, I would like maybe not Funko, but something else. Like, I'm not a big fan of the Funko Pop style. But if we had like, I don't know, anything else, yeah, 100%. But yeah, people want Funko Pops, of course I'll do it. If it gets to that level. I wonder how that even works. Like, how do you get a Funko Pop made? Do they like invite you like, hey, we like your game. You want us to like, can you license us the designs so we can Funko Pop it? Like, is that how it works? I don't know. There's gotta be some kind of system. So yeah, let me shrink this down and we'll side by side. The original is more dynamic. I'm assuming that's after I warped it. I'm assuming that's what you mean. Oh, why is the the mask isn't moving? So yeah, here's the two versions. It's, oh, this is so tough. Okay, for some reason that clipping mask is in the complete wrong place. Let me move that. Okay, that clipping mask didn't quite scale, but yeah, that's a rough idea. .1 scale. So I don't know, guys, which I don't know which one. We got the red one, which I haven't like skewed at all, and then the blue one, which I've like changed a little bit. Left is more dynamic. All right. I think I get what you mean, because it's like sort of like the crate is sort of like going like that. But I feel like Gabi, I don't know if Gabi looks like she is lined up with that, if you know what I mean. Like, I think I would have to like skew Gabi for that to match better. All right, yeah, we'll poll it. Left or red or blue. Okay. I do like that YouTube has polling tools in the chat. That's really cool, actually. Which one? So the red one has not been modified. The blue one has been, like, perspective skewed. Oh, wait. Does it literally just say yes or no? Oh, hold on. Let me edit that. I just read the poll, and it's like yes or no. Sorry. So, red... Yes is red. Blue is no. Got it. Oh, sorry, I just ended it. Hold on, let me try that again. Oh, sorry. Let me try that again. Sorry, guys. Okay, now it should be labeled correctly. I didn't know you could change the labels. All right, red and blue. I don't know why it said yes or no. That's hilarious. Yeah, red or blue? Yes. All right, looks like the majority is saying blue at the moment. I'm gonna give you guys a minute to decide. But yeah, actually I might, should I refill my coffee while I wait for the poll results? I think I will. I will go refill my coffee. I'll be back in just a second, guys. But yeah, I want all of you voting, all right? All of you, because it's going to heavily influence my decision, because that's kind of the whole point of polls. So I'll be right back. You let me know your thoughts. I'm going to just leave my desktop open so you guys can see it. I'm just going to go refill my coffee because I'm completely empty. So yeah, BRB. I think I do have a keybind where I can hide my camera and mute myself so you don't hear me walking about. I think is it this button? Oh no, that hides you guys. Oh no, you vanished. No, you're there. All right, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna refill my coffee. Vote on the poll. Do it. Alright. What is the result? Oh, I see. I will end the poll. So the vote was 62% blue, but that is so divisive. Like, it's like a little over half is like blue, and then some of it's red. Ah. Now that I'm looking at it again, I'm not sure if I really like either of them now. Yeah. I don't know. Hold on, where are you guys? I'm trying to find my chat window. Ah, there you go. Remove Gabi, only Cube. Well, you see, it doesn't make sense because like the whole point is that it's supposed to match Gabi. That's the context. But I'll do it. All right, this is what it looks like. But I guess it's weird when they're next to each other because it looks like they're both supposed to be in the same environment, and the red one looks more skewed now. But it on its own, it looks fine. Like, yeah, context is important. Because, yeah, if I just have it on its own, that looks fine. If I have that one on its own... Actually, yeah, that does look a bit... I'm not entirely satisfied with the blue one on its own. But with Gabi there, it looks less bad. See, yeah, it's massive. I really should have taken a better screenshot before drawing it. That's the real right answer is that, but we have to make a decision. Like we're out of time. I can't like draw it again. Let me undo the transforms. Excuse me. The horizon line. I didn't really think about that, I guess, because I'm not going to use it with a background. It's just going to be a one-off sort of print thing. But I can try and draw one if that helps. Oh, what's hard? I was just going to draw a ground, but it's going to like... Yeah, hold on. I'll just draw a line. Like, I guess here? Well, no, that's kind of like the foreground, I guess. I don't know. I haven't drawn horizon lines in a while. I guess it would be a bit further up. That's too high. Oh, I get why you want to know. Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, that's a bit too high, I think. It's got to be like about here, I think. Oh, no, that doesn't look really... Yeah, I'm a bit out of... I haven't like opened Photoshop in many months, so... I mean, I guess that looks okay. But yeah, on this one it would need to be lower, wouldn't it? Because of the foreshortening. Or would it? Like, what if I had it like up here? Oh yeah, it's just, yeah, it's hard to tell. Well, because here's the thing, all right? Because here's what I need. This is the purpose of this is to go on like a shirt. So it needs to look good on that. It doesn't really matter what environment it's in because it's not going to be in an environment. It just needs to look like, if you looked at it as a design, like as a graphic, which looks the best? Like that's the criteria. So we've got her rotated slightly. I think I am kind of preferring the red one though. Like when I look at it just by itself, yeah, it kind of looks a bit more centered. Whereas this one looks a little bit like, it does look like it's been adjusted now that I look at it. So, 3D glasses, Gabi. Yeah, because like, I'm just trying to think, like this on a, just like imagine it colored in and stuff. Yeah, I think I might go with the red. I think. What if like maybe somewhere in the middle? Maybe that's what I need. Like I think I'm gonna try another one somewhere in the middle of the two. Because it's slightly off. It just looks slightly off. And I think to remedy this, I'm going to use perspective, but not as much. I'm just going to do a little bit. And that's it. I think that's what I'm after. So now it's slight, just a little bit, you know. I think I'm a little more happy with that. But if on this one, I don't know if I want to rotate Gabi at all. Yeah, I don't think I should. I don't think I should rotate Gabi. I think I'm happy with how this is. I just want to see though, because it would be cool if her head lined up with the middle of the cube, but you know, it can't look, because her leg has to look like it's folding over the edge of the crate. So if you move it in too far, it won't make sense. But if you move it, okay, I'm just gonna play around a little bit. We're not gonna spend too long though. Like, that's probably the most I would think to do. So we've got that version, or yeah, I guess it's kind of yeah, see, that's why the blue one is looking a bit off to me, is because it does look skewed. But this one is like slightly. Yeah, I think I'm liking this, because her spine, like the flow, because the thing, let me try and draw what I mean. Because it's like this whole bit. Like, it sort of stays in like the middle. Whereas the, oh, is that the right one? Yeah. Whereas like this one, like Gabi's over here, and then the crate is sort of like that. Like, it just, like, if you look at the line, like, yeah, I'll draw the lines just on their own. Give me a minute. I'm gonna like draw where her spine would be. Looks like more centered, I guess. Like, this probably doesn't make any sense, but you know what I'm trying to, like, visually, it looks like visually more centered. Like, yeah, when I show them both like that, Gabi looks like she's leaning off too far in one way. Whereas in the other one, it looks like it's all, because the cube's perspective is like centered down. And if Gabi's spine is also like following that sort of line, it just, I don't know, it looks visually better, even if it's not technically correct. Because in this one, yeah, her spine is sort of leaning off. And I don't know if I like that. I think it would work if like she was moved, like if Gabi, excuse me, if like Gabi was, like if she was like, all of her was moved. But I think that wouldn't make sense with the, like, yeah, now it looks, like it looks like her legs are like clipping into the side of the cube, I think. Whereas if you move her that way more, it looks like her legs are hanging over the outside, I think. But I think I might have to adjust that foot though. I don't know if I want it sticking out like that, because it looks like her foot's touching the floor. I don't know. I guess, yeah, like, I think I do like this one. Let me like zoom, if I zoom out. Oh, I think I just need to rotate it a little bit back over, I think. Just a wee bit, because it does look a little bit overdone. Oh, I don't want to rotate the whole thing. Oops. Hoping it goes, maybe. I'm more thinking about the visual composition rather than like what it looks like she's thinking sort of stuff. Yeah, so that's why she can't be sitting in the middle of the crate, as Seth pointed out. Like, yeah, she can't really be sitting in the middle. Like, I've tried to skew her over to one side. But yeah, if she is sitting on like the edge though, it does like visually, I mean, actually, yeah, that actually doesn't look so bad if I move her down there. Because I was worried that it would visually just look off center. But I don't mind that. Like, let me move that back down. Yeah, like back down here. That actually, with her rotated a little and the crate sort of adjusted, it looks, I think I like it. Yeah, it looks, she's sitting like more on the edge now, it looks like. Could I move her more? Because yeah, it's just tough because I'm just approximating this in my head. It's not like perfect 3D mathematics, right? I think, yeah, that looks good to me. Just like this. I think I like that. All right, I think we'll leave it like that. I think that's probably good enough. Let me just like redraw that mask because the mask is all screwed up now. And then we can start inking. And yeah, I spent a lot of time on the box. I spent a bit longer than I thought I would. But I think I'm happy with this. So yeah, we didn't quite pick red or blue. We kind of just went somewhere in the middle. The thing is, if I open this tomorrow, I'm probably going to have a different opinion. I'm probably going to look at it and go, oh, actually. But, oh well, we'll just have to live with that. So yeah, I'm just gonna I'm just like masking out the bits again, like, that are behind her legs. It's a bit tough in this little, because yeah, it's so precise in this little bit. So let me just like get a smaller brush and just like go at that. Yeah, I'll drop it on. I'll be sure to do that. I'll tell you what, we'll do an extremely rough color pass as well. Like very quick. And then we'll put it on a shirt and we'll see how it looks. Yeah, guys. Yeah, as it turns out, yeah, a lot of effort goes into my merch as it would turn out. But I do enjoy it because I really want to. I need a new Gabi shirt myself. I want to wear this. And yeah, I also need to pay my level designer. So yeah. It's one of those times. But yeah, it's been a while since I've done merch. I think I keep getting asked about it. It's like, when's the new merch coming? It's like, yes, soon. But yeah, now you can see it live. Because I wasn't sure if I would stream it or not. But now I'm just like, yeah, you know what? Screw it. Let's just like, I'm gonna show people, see how it's done. But yeah, the brilliant thing is, because I try to sketch these in a way where it's like, I can use it for more than just merch. Like, even with some of my other designs, like the first one I did, I've like used that drawing everywhere. The thing is, I've only really got that one drawing. So so this will give me a lot more, like, I can use this in YouTube thumbnails, and I can use it in, like, I can even use it on the live stream. Like, I might have a little graphic, you know, like on the stream starting soon, I could use this picture when it's done and have it like in an environment or something if I wanted. Yeah, I actually do end up finding lots of uses for these renders. It's quite handy, and I think I really enjoy it because I really, like, yeah, I could technically use like a 3D model, like I could take Gabi's model and pose it, but there's something about drawing it where it just looks like you can tell, and I always personally, I just love when I see like branding for a game that's like hand-drawn. I just love it. It's like I don't know, I just have a huge thing for it. I just think it's amazing. That's why I get like really disappointed. Like, I don't really play them, but I'll like be out somewhere and I'll see like a JRPG game or something. I'll see it on the shelf and I'll be like, man, that box art looks so cool. And then I flip it over and it's like this pixel art RPG Maker game. And I'm like, God, why can't it look like the box art? Oh, that's sort of like what my goal was with Gabi's model. Was that I had an idea of like, okay, I want the box art to be in this style. What if I actually made the game in that style too? And that's why I like committed to trying to make everything look like hand-drawn. Because I just thought that'd be so cool. Like, let's say it got on a shelf, hypothetically, right? you see it, and it's like Project Feline. You go, oh, cool, it has like this nice hand-drawn cover, and then you flip it over, and the screenshots also look hand-drawn, but it's a 3D game. Like, to me, that just seems like the coolest thing, and I'm like, oh man, I want to do that. Like, I have waited so long to turn over a game and have the actual art look like the box art. Like, one of the examples I saw that really just annoyed me, I think I saw like Hyperlight Drifter or something. And I looked at it and I was like, man, that box art's gorgeous. And then I turn it over and it's just pixel art. And I'm like, I want it to look like, I want the nice sprites like on the box cover. That's what I want. But yeah, no, that's, yeah, if I was doing a sprite-based game, I'd probably do pixels as well. It's, yeah, I don't blame them. It's really hard to do, like, especially with sprites. Like, oh man, I do not envy that. Also, I think I just rubbed out, did I just rub out one of those lines? I think I just rubbed out something by mistake. Or did I? Oh, it's not. Is the canvas for it? Oh, it's alright. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I'd rubbed that bit out, but oh well, it's not too important. Oh hey, Very Dead and Tired. That's a very cool name. Thanks for joining. Max says he fell down the stairs. That's no good. Pick yourself up, boy. Dust yourself off and keep going. You could jump on the couch in the background and take reference. I don't think that would work because I don't have Gabi's like proportions. That'd be really hard to translate over, I think. Like, I would, yeah, I'm like too, I don't have the physique. Yeah, not at all. Hand draw every frame of the game. Yeah. That's the ultimate power move. That's like, Ray, why did it take you 20 years to make this game? Oh, I'm glad you asked. It's because I hand drew every single possible frame. The entire game is just a big PowerPoint. That's how we're gonna achieve the art style, guys. We're just gonna, we're gonna hand draw every cell. It's like I literally just made an anime, but from a third-person game view, and it's interactive. It's an interactive anime. That's it. Dude, like, and if, imagine, like, you'd get it, and then the game gets, like, Metacritic of, like, 20, and it's just like, oh, that'd be a sad day. Alright, so, I've got the oh, let me delete those other layers. Let me, I'll type in, like, I'll name these folders so I know what these are for later. Okay, we'll do just rough colors, and then we'll chuck it on a shirt and see how it looks. Just a rough. And then we'll go in and embellish it and detail it and all that stuff. I still don't know if I'm going to do like a cool... Because usually by the end, like I'll have a sketch and then I'll do some cool like design type thing on it as well. Excuse me. Like, like the last one I did, I'll show you, I'll try and show you what I did. Because I did like a cool text graphic. And because I'm a huge sucker for like typography. I just think it's so cool. So I don't know if I'll do some kind of thing like that at the end. Let me, I'll show you what I mean. Oh, where is it? Yeah, so the first design I did, it's gonna look tiny. But that was like that was the second design. And I had the same, like that's the same drawing of Gabi you see, but I like cropped it in a square and put text on it. This was my personal favorite. I know like most people didn't buy this one, but I personally really, I wear this one a lot. I just kind of like the sort of comic look to it. And having like the font over I thought that was kind of cool. Then the other one I did more recently was yeah, like this one, where like I had this drawing I had of Gabi that I drew for something else, and then I like put it with like a comic sort of dot background with like her name like going upwards on it, and I really enjoyed that. Yeah, this was one of my, that's like my second, oh actually this kind of ties with the other one as like my favorite one. Ironically, you guys will find this hilarious. So the most, I think the best selling one I did, this was like way back in 2020. It was this one, which is just literally like the drawing just slapped on. And this was my least favorite, but this was like the best selling one. So I guess me and you guys have very different tastes in shirts. But yeah, so I don't know if I'm just like with this current one, I don't know if I'm just gonna like leave it as the drawing or if I'm gonna like add some like text and stuff. Cause I personally really like text. Like the, I don't know, I just really like it. I don't know why. But yeah, just some ideas. AI art. Yeah, like AI generate every frame. Yeah. Well, I guess technically you wouldn't have to program anything. Like you don't. All right. Well, I guess I just have to wait it out. I don't know how long it's gonna be. Could I hotspot to my phone? Would that work? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, I'm seeing chat again. Wait, is my internet back? Is my internet back? I think it's back. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Is it back? I think so. Oh my goodness. I've had the worst week. Do you want to know what happened to me last night? I'll tell you a story, just to give you an idea on how terrible my week has been so far. So, last night, I had a little bit of spare time. I had like a free hour or so. And my friend of mine was going to play some Apex. And he was like, hey, you want to play some Apex with me? And I was like, okay, sure. I've got a bit of time before my stream. I haven't like relaxed all week. Sure. And then all of my games crashed. Like nothing would launch. I try and launch Apex and it gets to like the login screen, crash. I try and launch Splitgate or something, because we play a bit of that, crash. I try and launch like Anthem, crash. I try and launch like a single player game. I launched Sonic Forces, crash. And nothing worked. Nothing worked. And then I tried launching Lego Star Wars, the video game, and that worked, but that's not multiplayer. So, yeah, I think what ended up, it was some weird obscure problem, but I did end up fixing it. But I didn't get to play any games, so I just kind of kept working. I was like, yeah, sorry, man. I mean, Microsoft Word still works, Photoshop still works. I think I'm just going to do some work. Yeah. So I didn't end up relaxing, but I think I did end up fixing it this morning. But anyway, I think, is this still working? I hope it is, this little network. Yeah, so I think what happened, because sometimes my internet will just drop out. I don't think it has anything to do with me being live for 2 hours, because we used to go for like 5 hours on Twitch, no problem. I think it's just, we're just having a terrible day today for the gods. The prophets do not want me to stream, it would seem. Yeah, this is Screen Australia punishing me. This is them punishing me for not taking the deal, because they're government. They have complete control. They're just like DDoSing me right now. Yeah. All right, so I think we're back, right? Okay, it didn't make a new stream link though, did it? I hope not. Okay, I think it is still the same stream, because I didn't tell it to auto quit. Okay, so we should be good. Put a I don't know, just type hey yeah in chat just so I know that I'm not seeing a delay or anything. Oh, it's the same one? Okay, cool. All right, so we're back on. Yeah, sometimes it'll just drop out for like a few minutes and then come back. You know, that's what living in Australia is like. To give you context, like the rest of the world, you guys have like, what is it, fiber optic cables, I think? That's like the good one, right? Like you guys have like fiber to like each property or something like that. That's how it is in like the developed world. Here in Australia, my place used to have that. The fiber optic cable is still there, but they've disconnected it when the NBN rollout was happening, because they had the national NBN thing. And what happened was they replaced everyone's thing in my area with copper to the node. So the actual node is like a kilometer down that way, and there's a copper wire that they installed to connect it. So my download speed is like 20, which is good for me. But in America, I see people post speed tests from America and it's like 500 or something like that. So just to give you an idea on how it is even a miracle that I can stream in the first place. That's how bad it is here. It's like worse. It's like actually like, I think like Kenya has actual better internet than Australia. Yeah, so it's fiber to the node, copper to, yeah, that's right. That's what we have. Exactly. That's exactly what they did. But like I said, before NBN, we did have an actual fiber, like I think it was a fiber hybrid coaxial thing. Like it wasn't the best, but it was better than copper. And that's what we used to have it connected to in the old system. But because like they're lazy, they didn't uninstall that cable. They just left it in the ground, like it's still there. And I've been very tempted to just dig it up and hotwire it into the box, so I can have better connection. It's still in there. They just disconnect. So we're gonna do a rough color pass and hope that my network doesn't just tank on me again. But yeah, guys, like, yeah, I'm not. Well, the thing is, because here's the thing as well, right? We do have the option to upgrade to like fiber to the property, but if we do that, it'll also upgrade all of my neighbors going up the street, and it'll cost $25,000. So if let's just say I decided to spend, like, I just whipped out 25 grand out of nowhere and paid to get like proper internet, I would have to shoulder the cost of not only me getting it, but my entire street. And it's like, do I really want to help my entire street? Nah, not really. Unless we all pitched in, but like all of them are like old people. So yeah, no, that's not gonna, no one's gonna care. So yeah, I'm just stuck with copper. And yeah, I guess it's better than not having any internet, I suppose. It's better than dial-up, but you know, the ironic thing is that for all of my friends, it was the opposite when the NBN was installed. Everyone else got like my old speeds. Like it flipped around. Like everyone used to have my speeds, and then they all got upgraded to like 100 download, and then I got the 20 download. So I guess the universe is always in balance somehow. So yeah, that's why I stream at like 30 FPS and I don't stream in HD really. Is so just to like lessen the load on my poor little copper cable. But yeah, man, I look at some of you, like the friend of mine, that Bethesda friend I have, I saw him like post on Facebook one time, and he was complaining about his internet being slow. And it said, and he posted a picture of his speed test, because I think they're all working from home now at Bethesda. So he was like complaining, oh, my internet's so slow. And he had like the speed test results open, and it was at like 500 megabits download. And I'm like, are you serious right now, dude? That's amazing. I would kill for those speeds. That's incredible. And he's like, oh no, it's okay. And I'm like, oh my god. But I guess if you're working on like, you know, if you're working at Bethesda, you'd probably want faster than 500 if you have to like coordinate with the entire dev team from remote. So yeah, we have different needs, I guess, but it's just, oh man, the standard of internet there is so high. I'm so jealous. Oh, we do? We just have my face cam? Oh, sorry, I didn't realize. Okay, now I'm on desktop. Thanks. Sorry, my brain's just a bit overloaded with the amount of stuff going wrong. All right, now you can see what I'm doing. Apologies there. Oh, why is it, all right. So yeah, this is just going to be very rough. I'm just getting like all the skin tone colors and stuff. We'll do it all on the one layer. We don't need to be fancy with this. Because we're just going to zoom out and just sort of look roughly at how it sort of visually looks. So yeah, this is going to be really, really coarse. I do have like a test lighting, but I think I might have to, because I've rotated Gabi now, I might have to change it a bit. I have gone back and forth a lot on whether or not Gabi should have green or blue eyes, but I think I've settled on blue, sort of in keeping with the palette. So yeah, just gonna do like a very rough, like, it's gonna be so messy. I'm gonna try and clean it a little, just so it looks kind of at least close to what the final would look like. All right, we'll get the blue. The thing is as well, when I color this for real, because the way I do it for like the final version is that I use adjustment layers to set the color. I don't actually color pick it. So I just color in black and then the layer effect will recolor it. So what that means is, and because I do each color on a separate layer for the final thing, if I want to change the colors of anything later, I should be able to. So if I wanted to pick like a darker blue, I could just go and change the layer adjustment and then the singlet will be a darker blue. And I can just change it whenever I want. So that's, it required a bit of setup, but it's really, really amazing. So if I'm ever not happy with it, I can just change it. Like if I wanted, I could make her blonde. Like I could like change any color I wanted. So it's pretty handy having that. And I think I've copy pasted those layers already. So they're all just sitting there like with empty data in them. But when we get to actually coloring, you'll see what I mean. You'll see it in action. But at the moment, just to rough it in, I'm just like doing it all on one layer and picking the colors from the drawing. Oh, where's my? I can't see my cursor. Oh, there we go. And I'll pick like a, excuse me. I'll pick like a darker blue for, because I'm still trying to like figure out what undersuit, like how to color, like what color distribution should be, because I don't want to have like a light color, so I'll pick like a dark blue sort of for this bit. Is that too dark? Maybe it is a bit. Maybe the blue should go on the sides. It's still, yeah, it's a bit too dark. We'll lighten it a little. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, I think I'll have it on the inside. That's where I'll put the dark color. Should I have that on the gloves though, is the question. Should I use that darker blue on the gloves? I don't know. Maybe. Actually, yeah, it kind of looks, I think I kind of like that with the dark blue on the gloves. So yeah, that's going to be another, I have to actually add those gloves to the model, which I still haven't done. So I do have a bit of leeway, all right? I could still kind of change it on the fly. Cool. All right, we'll get that white. Yeah, there's also like a few different like tiny shades in the shoes, like a bit of grays and stuff. So that'll be a bit tricky. So we'll get what color did I use for that? I think I used like this gray color. Oh yeah, getting that contour there is gonna be, yeah, hand's a little shaky. It's gonna be a bit tricky to get, yeah. Actually, wait a minute. What is that line? Is that, I feel like, oh, that's from the cube. I was like, yeah, something ain't right. Yeah, that, because her leg, that's like that's not her leg, that's at the wrong angle. So yeah, let me rub that out. There we go, that's better. Well, I don't know. Well, let's see, what's my RAM like right now? Because yeah, this doesn't happen really in a while. I don't know. Well, yeah, Task Manager's kind of freezing up. Maybe, I don't know, it could be right. Maybe I need 64 gigs of RAM. I have to go even higher. God, I thought 32 would be plenty. Yeah, so CPU is kind of sitting pretty high. It was sitting at like 80% just then. Memory is 80%. So it's not 100%, but it's getting up there. GPU is like 30 something percent. So yeah, I guess it is. I feel like 80%, it shouldn't be like that bad because it's not like peaking at 100. I don't know. Maybe 80 is the actual soft limit. I don't know. Could be. But yeah, it's never been a problem in the past. But yeah, like with the network, I think because yeah, like everything was like, it wasn't just the stream, it was just like even Chrome wasn't working or anything. I don't think that's like a RAM thing. Like even, yeah, my phone even, I checked and it was like down there as well. So I think it's just being in Australia. Just another day. Another blackout. What am I running? It's just Chrome. And I have two tabs of Chrome, just chat and then like my live stream dashboard. And then I'm running Spotify and then Streamlabs. And that's it. It's actually like, I usually run way more stuff in the background than normal. Like I usually have like 50 tabs and it is fine when I'm in Photoshop. Like I'll have like 50 tabs open in the background and then I'll be using Photoshop and it'll be totally fine. Like last night, it was totally fine. So I don't know what's going on. Even with OBS running, because I was running OBS to record, not to stream, but just to record. And I use very high settings to record, which is like higher than my stream settings. And that handled just fine. So that's why I'm so confused, because it's like, it can handle running like OBS, like running like 1080p, like recording like for 2 hours and stuff. Like it can handle all that, but it can't, I don't know. It's not, I don't think it's a performance thing. It's just like internet. This is like how it is in this country. There have been times where I haven't been streaming where that exact thing has happened, where like it won't completely go offline, but everything will just say, oh, you're in offline mode right now. But the little icon in my corner will say I'm connected. Like that'll happen from time to time, even when I'm not doing anything. So it's probably just that. Okay, I need to get that, yeah, I'll clean this up a little. There we go. And we'll get the other color for the suit. This guy. I think it's that color. Yeah, I don't think it's, I mean, yeah, 80% to me, like that's high, but it's not like suffocating. Like if it was peaking at 100, I'd be worried, but it's not doing that. So. Yeah, I'm not working at 600. I'm working at 300 DPI at like A2 or something. Actually, what is my... Yeah, so I'm... How many centimeters? So 37 by 44 centimeters, 300 DPI, which is... That's like the size that Teespring works with. I think that's why I set that canvas size. So that's like in inches, that's like 14 by 17 inches. Which is... It's like high. It's not like really high, but it's high. Like that's at 100% zoom. That's how it looks. And you can actually see in my top little corner there, you see the red. That's like where my screen is compared to like the rest of the drawing. So yeah, what we might do, just to like use up more space, once I've colored this, like when we start actually going for real, like doing the line work, I might scale this up to fill more space so that we can get more out of our canvas size. So we'll try that out a bit later on. But yeah, I don't think it's a RAM problem. So, oh yeah, that was the other, like the light silver color to use on these bits. And then, actually, yeah, that's supposed to be white here. There we go. Oh yeah, there's a little spot I missed over here. And then we'll, I need to get that little glowing color. We'll just chuck a few of those on. And I think that looks, yeah. I mean, it's good enough for a test. I'll just like quickly like get some of those out. All right. I think that's all the colors. It's like a little bit here. I gotta get. There we go. I'll do the crate on a different layer, so it'll be a bit easier. Now I'm still not entirely sure if I want to stick with the concept art colors or not. I think I might want to experiment a little, but we'll just use those for the moment. Maybe we can do a quick color test to see if I want to pick out a different, because I just want to like play around with the gray and yellow. I'm kind of fine with like the white. That looks fine. It's not technically white. It's like slightly blue actually. But yeah, we'll play around a little. So I'll do like separate layers so I can recolor these just to test out. Well, I'll hide Gabi. Yeah, so there we go. We got the crate. It looks like I have rubbed out some stuff by accident there, though. So we might. Can I add those back in real quick? Yeah, it looks like I didn't do the mask right. I actually don't like. Where's my reference? There we go. Yeah, let me just fix that up. Wasn't supposed to do that. Because yeah, if we do want to move Gabi a bit later, it'd be nice to like have that drawn on. It'll be easier to fill too, because I'm probably going to use like the fill tool for some stuff. Cool. All right, it's good enough. So we'll leave that on. Oh, not that. That. There we go. So we'll just like completely fill that top bit. Memory paging. Well, yeah, I'm aware that paging exists. But yeah, I don't have much open in Chrome right now. And like, yeah, things usually work when I have a much heavier Chrome load going on, so... I don't know. Yeah, again, I don't think it's RAM related. Like, I'm using a lot, but because it was not just my device, like my phone was also dropping out of the network. It's just Australia. That's just how it is. You know, they call us a developed country, but that's not really true. Yeah, we're a bit of a meme. Well, yeah, after my Screen Australia experience, I'm starting to question whether we're really that developed after the stuff I saw from them. But hey, well, that's a story for another time. But yeah, there are bits of America that I envy, like internet speeds, and like food choice. Like you have way more brands, which I think I like, but I think if I actually did go live there, I'd probably get overwhelmed by the amount of choice. So I don't know, maybe I don't know if it's positive or not. Oh, wait a minute. I was painting on the wrong layer. Let's get rid of that. Fill out that corner. Oh wait, yeah, that's not supposed. Yeah, it's supposed to be yellow. All right, real quick. I just gotta shade the bottom half with this color, and then we'll get the yellow in there. America. My RAM is bad enough to add a Bluetooth. I gotta add a Bluetooth device to network. Is it going to recognize my phone? Because I've never tried this before with my current phone. It used to work with the iPhone fine. Oh, wait, no, I found it. Yeah, Ray's phone. All right. Connect using... Connection successful. All right. Hopefully that helps. What I had open before. But this is like... I think I was out for like 10 minutes. I don't know. Yeah, like, okay, now YouTube says excellent connection, but it's not loading the rest of the dashboard. Like, that's just so comical. It's got like the stream loaded, and it's just not, it hasn't loaded anything else. Well, I don't know. I guess I'll just keep going. Because I do have to get, like, I have nothing else to do today except this, so... No, I don't think that's it. Like, it's my entire computer that's just disconnecting. I don't know if you guys probably couldn't hear me, but I was trying to hotspot it to my phone, and that wasn't working either. Because there's a thing I remember... Because the thing is, I can't use Wi-Fi hotspot, because I don't have a Wi-Fi card in my computer. It's just, I just have an Ethernet cable, because I didn't think I'd need one. So when I built the computer, I didn't buy a Wi-Fi card, because I was like, yeah, what am I going to need that for? So I can't Wi-Fi hotspot it, but I can Bluetooth hotspot, or I'm supposed to be able to Bluetooth hotspot, but that didn't work. Like I would connect it to Bluetooth hotspot, This is the first time I've tried it with this phone. And then it would say, oh, direct connection successful. And then the Bluetooth would just disconnect. So it's like, this is my life, guys. This is why Project Feline hasn't come out, because everything just breaks all the time. Yeah, that's right. I'm blaming everything on on everything breaking. Okay. So what I might do, we'll see how far we can go. If it cuts out again, I'm gonna take a break and eat. And when I come back, I'm going to try and hotspot it through my phone. Because that at least has like, I'm not even kidding. Like 4G is faster than my home internet. I'm not even kidding. It's like more reliable. So I can't switch it now because it's just not working for some reason. But I might try and like reboot and connect to the Bluetooth connection if it drops out again and like have some lunch. And come back, because I literally the rest of the day I've got nothing else to do except this drawing, so I'm streaming all day. But if I can't do it through my home network, I'm gonna have to figure out another way. So yeah, one moment. I'm just gonna turn off hotspot for the moment because I don't want it to like use up battery. I don't. The settings are in such a weird spot on Android. I have no idea. I have to search hotspot. Mobile hotspot off. I'll turn that off for now. At least I think that's the option I'm supposed to do. I don't know, but it wasn't working. It would show up in like the list of connections in my Bluetooth thing where it's like, oh, Bluetooth networks. And it would show up and I hit connect and then it just wouldn't. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm just going to keep going for the moment because I want to get this color, like this rough color done. Hopefully it'll be another like half hour before the network drops out again, hopefully. But yeah, like, you know, on average, this might happen like once every 2 weeks. It's usually not this bad where it happens like twice in a day. So I don't know, maybe the prophets just are like, this guy's going to stream. Where, how about no? And they're just like trolling me or something. I don't know. But, I mean, hey, at least if I'm offline, the bots can't get me. So maybe it isn't so bad. But it kind of sucks if like, if it's gonna keep being like this. That's a shame. Because I did a lot of really good streaming throughout the year. Made some really cool progress, and if I can't do that anymore, it's gonna suck. And I'm not gonna just move to America just so I can stream. So. That's a shame. USB. Well, I don't know if I even have a like. I don't think I've ever used my phone cables because I just have like a wireless charger set up next to my desk. So I'll have to dig up where the charge cable is, and it's some weird like USB-C cable. So I don't even know if it'll plug into my computer or not. Because I don't think my computer has a USB-C port because it's that old. So I don't know. We'll figure out something. But we'll keep, I'm going to take the blessing I have now that the internet gods have let me go for a bit. So I'm just going to keep using home internet for the moment. If it goes out again, I'm going to swap. I'm going to try and swap it to Bluetooth and try and reconnect that way. But yeah, it's been a while since that's happened. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of a miracle it doesn't happen every week. Hi, George. Bots can't get you, but the chats can. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Well, yeah, see, I don't know. I don't even remember what my phone charge cable is because I've never used it. I don't know if it's a C to C or a C to normal. I think it's a C to C. Yeah, you know, yeah, it is. I remember now because the charger it comes with is a USB-C input. So I don't think I actually have a cable. I mean, maybe. I might have one from like my Xbox controller. I might be able to use that because that's like a USB to USB-C. So I think I can use that one, but I can't use the actual cable that came with the phone to connect to the computer. Isn't that hilarious? That is so funny. But yeah, yeah. Australia, mate. That's how it is. You know, we put little tin foil on the roof, get our signal back. Works sometimes. Well, see, that's the thing as well, is that I think it's kind of obvious that Australia doesn't really, like, culturally, we don't really prioritize internet, because I only, like, with people who I know, not a lot of them rely on internet that much for their work. Like, you know, some of my friends are just like tradesmen. They're like out, you know, working on like the railroads, and yeah, they're probably not going to care if the internet works. Or like, I don't know who else. Like, I've got a few friends in IT where it kind of matters, but it's definitely like there's no AAA game studio here that's going to need it. Like, those just don't exist. So, I don't know. But I remember there was this statistic I remember reading about with our broadband that we had installed. This was like 5 years ago, I think, that they did this, the rollout, where there was this thing where they said that there was like two competing plans from like different parties, I think. There was like the NBN and the other one was actually like sounded realistic. It was going to have actual fiber optic to the property type stuff. But we didn't vote in that party for some reason, and we got the other one who had the NBN. So then they were like, nah, we're going to do it way cheaper. We're going to have copper. Way cheaper. Yeah, you don't need all that fiber optic. Nah, it's too expensive, mate. Going over budget. Put us in debt. So we're going to do the cheap one. And they did that. And it was, and then it ended up going over budget. It was like millions. I think it was like almost like a whole, either like 50 million or something over budget. And it took like 5 more years than it was supposed to. So yeah, it kind of ended up costing the same as the other proposed plan. And now we're stuck with this, right? So was it really worth it? Was it worth it? I don't know, man. But that's the hand we were dealt. But yeah, I remember there was a long time. I don't know if that's exactly how it went down. I'm paraphrasing. That's kind of how the gist of it, of what happened to internet in Australia. It's like, nah, we can't go into more debt. We're going to do the cheap one. That will like work half of the time, because that was totally a great idea. That's totally not going to have any negative consequences in 20 years time, not at all. But anyway, yeah, sadly there's nothing much I can do, but if it does drop out, I'm switching to, because yeah, the 4G and stuff is fine, like that's actually a lot more reliable. So we are going to, yeah, I'll switch over to that if this breaks again. But yeah, thanks for sticking around, fellas, through the technical difficulties. I do appreciate it. I'm just as frustrated as you. Is New Zealand the same? Oh, damn. That's not good. That's a shame. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. Jans has got it. It's like, if you're going to be down there replacing stuff, you might as well just put fiber in there. Like, that goes double for my place, because we already have that cable just sitting, and they didn't rip it out, but they uninstalled it. They like disconnected it and put the copper one in, because that's what the plan was. Like, that's what Optus made them do or whatever. It's like, no, everyone's going to have copper. And it's like, but I already have something better than copper. And it's like, no, you're not going to use that. You're going to use copper. It's cheap. And it's like, or hey, how about you just don't install it? Just leave the wire in there. It's fine. No, I'm going to give you copper. And that's what they did. So it's still, the wire's still in the ground. I said this before. It's still in the ground, the good one. The coaxial, whatever it is. Like, it's not like it's not like the full-on fiber. It's not the best. But it is better. Like, I'm talking 100 gigabit. Which doesn't sound that high to most of you, but to me that is like amazing to have 100. That is like godly. Like, that is unheard of. Like, at best, like at the moment, it's probably like 7 right now. If I were to check it. Usually at like peak times, like middle of the day, it's like 7, and then at night it's like 20. Yeah. I don't know, like, yeah, comparing to like the people I know in the States, it sounds so sad in comparison. Like my friend Steve, who has like 500, you know? Anyway, all right, yeah, I'm gonna add the little bits of blue. Gotta remember to do that. Little glowy bits. I might change that blue. I might make it less turquoise. So to keep the palette. 'Cause the thing is as well is that I do have to be because I'm going to shade this normally, but I may have to make some adjustments based for like just for the merch version, because I am aware that there are limited colors. Like, it doesn't like when you use gradients and stuff if you're printing it. So I don't know if I'll need to, because I did make that other print that seemed fine, that I just had the raw file. So I don't know if I'll have to do it, but I'd like to, you know, maybe give it a bit of a pop art type look for the shirt, just so that it prints a bit easier. A SIM card. I think we actually, I do have that. And it's supposed to switch to, like, when the broadband drops out, it's supposed to switch over to 4G, but it never does that. It never works, which is just classic Australian. Like, it never works. So yeah, I have thought of that. I do have it. It's just, it never works. And it's actually, like, slower. And when it does work, it is actually, like, slower than the phone somehow. So yeah, I just use the phone when it's like, when I'm that desperate. Is that actually, is this a 5G phone or a 4G phone? I don't know. I don't know how to tell with these now. Well, this is like, I think it's 4G probably. But yeah, even that is like actually faster. It's like faster and more stable than my wired connection. Isn't that nuts? Is that crazy? Anyway, we'll stop whinging about the internet for now. I'm probably sick of hearing it, as am I. But yeah, so I've got the colors sort of in there now, which is good. Oh yeah, I'll need to add those little yellow accents too. Oh no, I think I cut. Yeah, I was meant to add those to the top here. Yeah, hold on. Those aren't supposed to be blue, these things. All right. Yeah, that's good enough. So now if we get Gabi back on, now we can actually compare the colors. And for some reason the line art is gone. Why is the line art gone? Oh, there we go. Yeah, found it. And I do have some like test shadows. Wherever that is. I had them somewhere. I thought I had them. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. So there's some test shadows. It doesn't look, it looks very muddy because I just used like black fill and like did transparency. It looks terrible. I think, yeah, hold on. I might be able to make that look a bit better with the shadows. So I'll give you a bit of insight. Okay, my internet's still good. So I'll give you a bit of insight into how I do shadows in Photoshop. I have like a layer for it here. I'll copy that over. And this is like not like it's still very sketchy and whatever, but this is like the technique I do where I have an adjustment layer. Let me just move that into position. So let me like, yeah, let me delete that. Oh. All right. There we go. So this is, oh, it's not quite, it's not really, oh, the colors aren't exactly right. I think it's because I'm using 16-bit color in this one, which is why it's not looking how it's supposed to. Yeah, like the adjustment layer isn't supposed to look like this. It's supposed to be darker. I don't know why it's, I'll try use Legacy. I think, yeah, okay, yeah, that's a bit more like what I want. So I'll do like -60 or something, but it's supposed to be more saturated. But yeah, for some reason, if I use normal, it just like it's supposed to be darker than that. Maybe if I copy paste this, do this again. Okay, that's too saturated. Maybe if I do, yeah, okay, that's a bit more like it. That's how it's supposed to look. Oh yeah, so on this specific document, like just the adjustment layers don't seem to render correctly, and I don't know why that is, but yeah, well, I'll just make sure these are ordered the right way. So what I do, I have like an adjustment layer that lowers the brightness, and then I have a cooling filter over the top. So I'll zoom in and show you what that looks like. So I have to put 2 here for some reason now. I can usually just use the 1, but I have a brightness and contrast that just like lowers the brightness, and then I have a photo filter, and then I mask it. That's how I do it. So I have a mask that I like painted in just roughly. That just, everything in white is in shadow, and everything in black is just, it occludes it. So that's how I do shadows. Because it's sort of like that 2-tone Bakugan type shading. For some reason though, this is like really dark, those colors. Like that doesn't look right at all. So I don't know, maybe I have to, like, yeah, it's all weird. I don't know why it's doing that. But if I pasted this into a different document, I guarantee you it wouldn't be like this. Like if I change it to, I don't know, maybe if let me save first. But yeah, if I'm doing like the Teespring document template that I made, like the adjustment layers just don't adjust properly. And I don't know why. It's really weird. Like, yeah, it's supposed to look like this. Like I've done it's the exact same layer here. That's how the hair is supposed to look, shadow, like that shade of pink and that shade of, like for the skin. That's how it's meant to look. But yeah, it's just not working for some reason. I don't know why. Like, yeah, you see how different the color, like it's the same layer. It's the same filter. It's just for some reason, it's like not really doing it correctly. I'm just gonna wait for that to save before I touch it. But yeah, it's not okie dokie. Yeah, so it's a mask. That's what it is. Yeah, you could also, I got occlusion map does sound like a pretty cool name for it. But yeah, it's basically it. I just fill the entire adjustment layer and then I like rub out the bits that I want in lighting. So if I turn the mask off, that's how it looks. And if I turn off I did like another rough mask for the background, which will like shade the background as well. Like that. Or something. Yeah, so that's like, yeah, but you see how bright the blue, like the blue should not look that bright. It's really weird. Like it's just a bit off. No, maybe if I move this, or maybe like the blend type is wrong. I don't know. It looks like the blend mode is wrong, but it isn't. Like it's in normal. So I don't know. Maybe if I change it to like darken or multiply. Okay, no, that doesn't do anything. But yeah, it's not supposed to look that weird. So yeah, another thing that shouldn't break is now breaking. That's great. Fantastic. All right, let me just do another, because I was changing stuff while it was saving. So let me just save it again. Oh yeah, no, that's it. That's it. Seth has it. It's because I'm using CMYK color. That's why. Yeah, so I can't really do anything about that though, because I need to use CMYK for the print. That's why. Yeah, because this document is CMYK, which is like what you're supposed to use for print. It's not RGB. RBG is like for digital stuff. CMYK is for print. And I remember for this document, it's set up to use CMYK. That's why. Thanks for pointing that out, man. I totally forgot. I thought it was like the bit depth or something. Because I try to use like the highest settings I can. I don't even know what the difference is between 6-bit and 18-bit or 8 and 6-bit color. Those are the options. I don't know what the difference is, but I know that one of them's higher. So I use that one just in case. I thought maybe that might have been the reason. And for some reason it is not saving. Okay, now it's saving. Give it a moment. But yeah, so it's because I'm using CMYK. So I don't know, maybe there's a way I can work around that. But yeah, basically it's just a big adjustment layer. It just darkens so that way, see, the reason I like that method is that I don't have to like manually pick all the shadow colors. So with the other technique I do, where I do every color as an adjustment layer, it means not only can I change the color of Gabi's hair or her like singlet or her armor, I can change the color of that, and the shadows will also change color appropriately, because it's just like a dark version of the color that's underneath it. So it means you can change the color of Gabi completely, and the shadows will not be the wrong color. So I really love it. I've been using this technique for like 8 years to like do digital coloring because it's just so quicker. However, it doesn't work if you're doing stuff like the Genshin promo images. Like for that kind of stuff, you have to like manually paint the shading on. But if you're doing just like 2-tone, 3-tone stuff, this is like a great solution. It's just so flexible and I love it. You don't have to like manually pick all the shading colors and whatever. So it's really handy when it works, that is. So I have to figure out a way to like, yeah, like if I were to switch, if I went to like mode, like image mode RGB, it'll completely change, I think. I actually don't know if it'll work or not. It's probably gonna, like, it might, I don't know, maybe it'll crash or something. Yeah, here we go. So I switched it to RGB, and now that's what the shadows are supposed to look like. But I can't save this as RGB because it needs to be CMYK for the print. So how could I solve that problem? I wonder. Yeah, so there's the difference. You can see a huge difference there. Oh, now my undo isn't working. Oh, there we go. So there's gotta be a better way of doing this. There's got to be some kind of adjustment layer that actually works with CMYK. Maybe if I make, or maybe, yeah, hold on. Instead of brightness, I'm just going to just randomly try something. We will try levels. I don't know if that'll work. We'll try it. Okay, and that's not really, no, that's not quite the look I want. Because the thing with brightness is that it kind of saturates the colors as well. And I like that. But if I use like darker curves or something, like if I try this out, I don't know, just, yeah, see oh, kind of. It's not exactly what I want though. Nah, it's not quite right. So I want to use brightness, but the only option I have is use legacy, which seems to kind of help. But it looks so desaturated. Like, don't you guys see? Like, the brightness is correct, but the saturation, it's like adding black to shading, which you don't. Like, look at the skin. It looks gray in the shadows, which just looks horrid. Like, she looks like a zombie. And my Gabi ain't no zombie. So, maybe if I hack this together, if I add like a saturation on the top of this, maybe that'll fix it. I don't know. Like, yeah, I'll add a hue saturation on top and just up the saturation. Like, I don't know. I mean, that kind of helps, but it's... Nah, it's like the wrong color. No. Yeah, see, look, it looks green on, like, the metal. Okay, that's definitely not optimal. Oh, okay, that's a shame. Multiple layer. I mean... Yeah, curve adjustments doesn't work. It doesn't get the right look. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can't do it in CMYK. I don't know. Let me try. Yeah, I might try that. The closest thing I was able to get is using 2 brightness layers and having one of them set to legacy and the other set to normal. I don't really know what the difference between those two are even. Like, it doesn't. No, because it's. You see this? Like anything that's like lower than a certain brightness, it's just pitch black. Which is not, like, no, we can't do that. Like, look at, like, this little blotch here is pitch black. When it's, yeah, like, that's not, no, we can't, that's not Cripps standard. We can't do that. How do you do this? Maybe, okay, I don't know if this is a good idea. Maybe I switch it to RGB and then switch it back to like, I flatten the image and then switch it back to CMYK. I don't want to do that. Because I think actually, yeah, hold on. I'm going to try it really quickly. And I think there's a thing I've noticed. There's like an aliasing type problem that can happen. And I just want to see if that'll happen here. I just want to like make sure I'm remembering this correct. So what I'm going to do, I have saved it. I'm going to switch it to RGB. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to change the bit depth. Oops. I'm going to, yeah, so I'm, oh my God. It's like loading. Give it a moment. I'm going to switch it to RGB, I'm going to flatten it, and I'm going to switch it back to CMYK. It may work, but I don't think it will. And I have an idea why, but I'm just going to try it. So we're gonna change it to RGB. Yeah, I tried multiply, that didn't work either. Those blend modes don't work with adjustment layers. Or they do, but they don't work with like brightness, like that sort of stuff. Not really. So yeah, okay, so it's an RGB. I'm just gonna like go flatten, I'm just gonna flatten Gabi. Merge group. And then we're gonna go image, CMYK. You're about to convert using US web coated V2 profile. Well, sure, we'll just do what that says. All right, we've converted it back. It looks fine. Okay, that looks fine. It just means I have to like flatten the image first. See, I was a bit worried because one time I tried copying, I think I tried copying this render into a CMYK document and the shadows were all grainy. Like it was really weird. But that doesn't look like it's happening here. So maybe it's fine. Still not color accurate. Well, I don't know. That looks accurate enough to me. I'll tell you what. I'll copy this to a new document, the flattened version that's been converted. We'll copy this to a new document, which is also in CMYK. And then we'll unflatten it and compare it to RGB or something. Or see. Well, yeah, we'll compare the CMYKs just to see if the... Not the shadows, but just like the normal colors to see if it's the same. It looks the same. Like if I color pick, the shadows are wrong. But yeah, that's the same pink. So that's good. What about the skin? So one of them is CMYK, one of them is like been flattened and converted back. That looks okay. All right, I'll tell you what, we'll also just, yeah, because I don't really understand color that much. Like I have a very, very, very basic understanding of it. So I really don't know if this is gonna like destroy the drawing or not. But I'm gonna convert this to RGB again and copy it to an RGB document, and then undo it and see like how straight RGB looks before I've merged it. But yeah, if actually, yeah, hold on. Yeah, it does look different, doesn't it? So this is when, oh wait, no, this looks different than before. Something isn't, oh, it's because I've like, yeah, that's how it's meant to look. Yeah, there we go, I fixed it. So if I, I think, yeah, so let me merge and copy that. Because this is now like RGB without it being flipped back and forth and stuff. So if I merge group and then duplicate that to a new document, which it should just pick RGB. Yeah, so this is RGB. Oh. Yeah, you know what? Hold on. Let me just arrange this a bit better. Let me close some of these. So I've got these all sorted now. We'll zoom them all into like the same amount. I'll zoom it a bit closer. We'll give them all the same like background. I just want, because if it looks like the same, then that's good enough for me, you know? So one of these, let me undo the merge, and yeah, so now it's like CMYK, I think. Like, actually, let me go back to my last save. Wherever that was. There should be like in my history somewhere, it should say when I saved. Okay, maybe it doesn't. Okay, well that's like, well yeah, so what we'll do, I'll like try and get it to look close on this version. And so the CMYK, the source file is on the left. The middle one is like flattened RGB converted to CMYK, and then on the right is like RGB. So I'm gonna oh no, yeah, no, I already tried this, didn't I? And yeah, the blacks were way too black. And it's also, yeah, the colors are also wrong. Like you see that the skin is too yellow. Like the shadows are too yellow. It should be a bit more pink. So yeah, these two versions, like side by side, like the flattened CMYK and the flattened RGB look the same to me. And if I hue pick, it'll be like the same color. Like it looks like the same color. For some reason, the little color wheel isn't showing up. But yeah, it's like the exact same. Oh no, it is. It's a little off actually. Yeah, the blue is a little different. So yeah, no, it isn't exact. It's slightly different, but it's like barely noticeable. Like it is technically, yeah. So the middle one and the right one are actually slightly different because I'm looking at the little color wheel off the side and the little dots moving when I hue pick. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, so with digital print, you do need to be careful. However, it's been my experience, like, let me, I'll show you guys an example. Because I used this print for like my first merch design, which I did not think, this is like RGB. I did not think about the colors at all. And that came out fine on the print. So I guess, I don't know if I'm just lucky. I don't know what it was, but it looked pretty good. Like when I saw it physically and I was like, okay, yeah, this looks pretty close. Like, it's just the glow looks a little different because it's like, you know, there's no... Because it's like physically and like you can't have a shirt glow in the dark, obviously. So that was the only difference, but everything else looked completely normal. So I don't know if I'm just by coincidence not stretching the colors too much because it's like two-tone shading or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm just lucky. So I think I could reasonably expect that if I just do it like this, it should come out fine on the print because it did last time. But I do want to be conscious of that. So I might do a bit of like treatment to it to like change some of the colors, but I also want to use this digitally on like branding and stuff. So I want to try and color it the normal way, and then maybe after I like convert, like I change it up just a little so it prints a bit better, but we're using pretty limited colors already. Like we're not doing any gradients and stuff. Yeah, I'll check those darker colors. I'll check the gloves. I think those are going to be a bit different. Yeah, that's a big, I don't know if you guys can see. But you see that little, on the side, just above the chat window? You see the little color picker? Like when I pick, like that little dot moves whenever I click on them. So I don't know, like I don't understand enough about how digital color works to know like if this is serious, like if it's a serious problem or not. But it, like looking at them side by side, it looks fine. I know that they're not the same color technically, but it doesn't look that far off. Like the pink is... It's like a little more saturated. Like with the, yeah, the blue is just, it's just moving the thing to be more saturated. That's the only difference, really. The hue is still the same, mostly. The pink is like slightly more, like on the CMYK, it's slightly more red. Like just a little bit more red. What about the yellow? I think the yellow looks a little different. Yeah, no, that actually isn't that different at all. But yeah, because obviously I would prefer every color to just be slightly off than to have the lighting be wrong. Like this, like on the left, that is the most inaccurate version, like to me. Like that just looks terrible. So it's like I gotta pick. Unless there's some other way I gotta do it, I don't know. Well, yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't know if it's that bad or not. Like, I feel like if there was like a professional digital artist in my chat right now, he'd probably be thinking, oh, he should have used the tool to convert it. And I have no idea if that's even a thing, right? Because I have like a bit of knowledge in everything. Like, yeah, I'm not like a Photoshop expert, but I can write music and I can program and I can do like 10 other jobs, but I don't like know fully in and out of Photoshop. So that's like the sacrifice I make. So there might be some guy watching that's like, oh, well, he just has to click this button and it'll do it. And yeah, maybe there is, but I have no idea. But will I be willing to accept the colors being slightly off? But it's not visibly noticeable, so I guess that's okay. But I feel like there's like a bit of my brain where it's like, there's gotta be a way to do it. But I honestly don't know enough about it. Yeah. I think what we'll do... Well, wait a minute, because when I like if I go here and go image RG. Okay, because there was some prompt that came up when I was merging one of them where it said, do you want to convert to this color profile? Maybe that, I want to look into that just a little bit, just to see if there are some options. But if not, then we'll just RGB, flatten, and then convert to CMYK. Because that's like, honestly, what else are we gonna do? So if how did I get that prompt to come up? I don't remember how I did it. There was some prompt that was like, oh, do you want to convert to this color profile? I don't know, where was it? I'm trying to remember how I got that to come up. How did I get, I'm just trying to retrace my steps and think. Well, just as well we did a color test now, because if I had discovered this problem later, that would have been that would have been a journey. That would have been hilarious. It's like after at the very end, it's like, wait a minute, it doesn't come out right on CMYK. So yeah, just as well we tested it. All right, so how did I get it to, like, I think if it's CMYK to RGB, I think that's how I did it. I think. Or maybe it was RGB to CMYK. Yeah, like if I... Excuse me. So I think if I convert it to CMYK from flattened RGB, that's when it changes the colors slightly, I think. That's when that happens. So if I go to mode, wherever that is, and then CMYK color, don't merge. Oh yeah, here we go. You're about to convert to CMYK using US web-coded SWOP v2 profile. This may not be what you intend. To choose a different profile, use edit, convert to profile. Okay, let's try that. Edit, convert to profile. Edit, convert to profile. Oh, here we go. Convert to profile. So it looks like this is just the default CMYK profile, and I'm just using the default RGB one. So I don't know, maybe that's the right one. Well, yeah, there's a lot of options. I think, yeah, these are all the options we get, which is a lot. I don't even know what half these do. What's the one I'm supposed to use? I'm using US web coated. Then there's Adobe RGB 1998. Okay, I feel like that one is going to be a bit old, so maybe we won't do that. NTSC PAL. What's going on? That's crazy. Okay, these look like RGB stuff, so we don't want to convert it to another RGB. Is there like, where's the CMYK stuff? This is like printer color profiles, camera color profiles. Japan color, that sounds really cool. Photoshop 5 default CMYK. I don't know, let's just try that. What does that do? Oh yeah, I saw it. The color's slightly, I could see it. All right, well that's interesting. Yeah, like if I yeah, hold on, can I full screen? How do I full screen this? I just want to open this one really big. I'll undo it. You can see it slightly changing, like it's just a little less saturated with the shadows. Like if you look at the skin, see how it's more red? So when I convert it to that CMYK profile, it's like slightly red. That's really interesting. Oh no, it's sorry. The RGB is more red. The CMYK is slightly desaturated. That's interesting. Okay. I get the feeling that no matter what we do, if we're converting it to CMYK, it's gonna change it. Like, I don't think we can avoid that. I think that's unavoidable, but I think it's worth it considering that the shadows are way worse if we try and work in native RGB. Yeah, so we might just... Oh, I think the default one should be fine. Well, yeah, see, that's why the document I have, like this source document, is in CMYK. But as we've seen, the shadow layers just do not work properly. Like that brightness is just not working right in CMYK. So I think if yeah, it should be acceptable to just do it in RGB and then convert it to CMYK as a flattened image afterwards. Because that looks more accurate. It's not technically accurate, but it looks more accurate to me. So I think that should be fine. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just do that. I could try and find the perfect color profile, but yeah, that's not worth it. Like, yeah, of all the... Yeah, I'm gonna just change this back to the default setting, like working CMYK. Yeah, there's probably a whole science to this thing, and I have no idea what the theory and stuff is. I didn't go to college or anything, so... Yeah, so what we'll do... I mean, I don't want to do it like this, but we'll just convert this to RGB and not merge it. And we'll save it as RGB, and we'll convert it after the fact. Well, actually, let me just actually test to make sure that's a good idea. So yeah, I should be able to get rid of that duplicate layer now. Now, if I merge the whole thing, and then I go change the document, I just want to make sure it's not going to cause a problem, because I know sometimes it does. I think I may have tested this already. I just want to check one more time. Okay, that looks fine. That's acceptable. Cool. So now RGB, let's save. Just as well we tested that. That would have been a very unpleasant surprise later. So now let's actually see how this looks on a shirt. But real quick, because I just noticed that I don't have any shadows on the crate right now. So we'll add like a quick test shadow on the crate. So I'll copy this lighting layer. And we will, so yeah, we'll just copy this. Oh, oops, wrong layer. And we'll just add a bit of shading to the crate, just so that we can actually get an idea of what that should look like. So yeah, to show you how this works, because now you guys get to see it in action. Well, there's going to be a very rough draft, but I'll show you how it works with these layers. Now that I have them rendering the right color, that'll help. So what we do is I've got my adjustment layers, and I go to shadows, and I'll just like add a mask. And then what we do, like, I'll do it the other way around, where I'll just clear the entire mask. And we'll just, yeah, we'll draw on the shadows. Because sometimes I'll have the shadows all on and then rub them out. I do that sometimes, but for this one, we'll do it the other way around. It doesn't really matter what order you do it in, but yeah. So I want to have like, well, actually, where is the lighting coming from? I didn't really think about that. I kind of just started shading like randomly when I was doing this little test. Where should the light be coming from? Well, let's just try, because I'm thinking like, let me just draw. Because I was thinking like from the top to the side. That's sort of what in my head I was imagining. Like, sort of like here where Gabi's looking. That's sort of where I was imagining the light. The light. I sound like a Destiny voiceover now. The light, the darkness. Something weird. It was like some of my stuff was still connected and some of my stuff wasn't. Yeah. So let's just, so this is how the shadow would look roughly. Is it still going? We ain't stopping, just having a break, because I need to get more done today. If I hotspot over to my phone, we should stop getting disconnected. Alright, see you soon.